Can't believe
We're
you don't want to be able to
live.
just say whatever you want to say.
I say whatever I want to say, anyways. And you can continue to rant about
Mumble.
Battlefield if you'd like while I sit here and power wash things.
Battlefield and coins.
Oh, see what this Power Wash 2 has to offer.
Little annoying thing about coins. You know how old U.S. coins have silver in them?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you know this. You might be aware of this because it might have been on the news. There was a hike in metals recently, and they skyrocketed. And I was even telling people that I knew they're in a bubble. It's gonna go back down, and they did. They went back down. But what irritates me though is all those old U.S. coins, their price went up because they have silver in them, and the price hasn't gone back down, and that makes me so mad because I want to buy coins and I can't buy the coins that I like. I had to start buying different coins that I like, but I want to buy other coins and I can't buy them anymore because the price went up and it won't go back down. And I was like, oh yeah, you're just gonna use this like Walmart did with the tariffs thing, you know? Oh, tariffs are gonna raise prices. Well, then why don't they go back down? Well, we just want to raise prices actually.
Yup.
What I
They
think
go
is
up and
so
they never
funny is
come
how
down.
many what I think is so funny is how many people are bitching about like there's so many stores already celebrating Christmas. They just forgot about Halloween and Thanksgiving and they're just like consume, buy presents, buy.
Nothing I hate more than Christmas in October. Or Christmas in November. Nothing I hate more than Christmas before it's allotted time.
Yeah. The only thing that I don't like about Christmas is when it doesn't snow. But I don't like the way the stores are. But I don't know. To me, I just ignore it. I don't know why. I guess I just grew up with it so much when I was little. The way the store, always the back of the store doesn't change. The milk's always there, but the fucking front of the store it blasts. Every day there's some new thing. Especially though, when I was little, I lived in towns that were like really big college towns, and so a lot of the stores, when it was game day, they would do something just for game day, and so I got used to the store changing almost every week at least.
Uh,
It was abnormal to walk into the store and just have it be normal and not have some sort of display out.
what does this washer do for me?
Are your parents into college football?
Yeah, my dad is.
I figured, yeah, that he probably was. Does he root for an Indiana team?
Well, he really likes IU now that they're good. And, I mean, he's always kind of
Now
liked
that they're
them.
good.
I've liked him, but his team is Notre Dame.
Oh,
So yeah,
that's funny. That's kind of the Leroy's dad's team, or Leroy's dad's, Devin's dad's team. Leroy he likes
yeah.
Notre Dame, and so I was rooting him for them in the last championship, but they're not the team that I like, obviously.
Yeah, he's always liked Notre Dame. So yeah, he likes an Indiana team.
I wonder why Notre Dame is so. I feel like that there's a lot of people around
They're
here that
just
like Notre Dame.
there's the big school. They're probably the biggest Catholic school too, so that probably brings in a lot of people.
Yeah, that
But
probably does,
they've
especially
just
around
always
where I
had
live.
good sports programs and whatnot. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, also big Catholic schools. So
Well, and around here, that would bring in a lot of people because I know that I think most of the town that I live in is Catholic. I don't know well, most of it's Protestant, but the thing is, they're all separated into little groups. The Catholics are all in one big thing, bee's nest.
Oh. Jessica's Antiques and Collectibles.
Where you live in your small town, there's several churches, right?
There's two churches.
Only two. I'm surprised there's not more. Even what I think is funny is if you go to a smaller town near here, there's the same amount of churches that there are in my town. I mean, every small town here has like 4 banks and like 18 churches.
Be too simple if everyone just agreed.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. There's always an Episcopalian or Catholic or some like literally a castle, and that's some sort of church. And then the big two are the Presbyterians and the Lutherans. They're everywhere, especially the Presbyterians. They're really popular around here. I think that religion though is gaining a lot of traction right now.
It's because they're very
Liberal, I thought.
LGBTQ friendly.
Yep, I thought so. I watched some videos from a guy, and at first I liked the guy, and I don't dislike the guy at all, but I like watching his other videos. I was like, oh, I see. It was very easy to see this. He was like, you'll see which one of these I fit into, and I was like, yeah, I already know. But it also says in his thing, but just that, yeah, and I've heard a lot about their views, and what I think is funny is unanimously that's one of the few things everyone seems to agree on. You talk to Lutherans or all these people, and they say the Presbyterians are liberal. And
Yeah,
if you get all those people in a room, they can't agree about garbage, but they do all agree that the Presbyterian Church is the most allowing of, and I don't like to say any of that garbage, at least they're doing something.
Yeah, they're kind of basically not following the Bible at all, so they just kind of have a church under the guise of following the Bible, so
yeah, it sounds like
that's my opinion.
It sounds like where you go if you believe in televangelism to me.
Oh. Yeah, the preachers and their $5 million jets are they're certainly something. Kenneth Copeland is you just look at his face and you're like, I don't even something about that guy.
I know,
right.
that pastor at the church that I went to, oh my goodness, he knew it, like he could tell you off the back of his hand the top 5 most pastors and their income yearly, because he was so, I mean, that was one of the things that made him the most mad. And he would always bring up people like Kenneth Copeland. I can't remember one of the really popular ones that he brought up.
Joel Osteen?
He's one on TV right now.
Yes, Joel Osteen is one of those.
I think maybe he did talk about him, but
I can't stand him.
It's not him. It's an old guy that.
There's another pop. I can't think of it. He's in Florida, but I can't think of his name. He was the one who went viral about having a jet or a private jet and whatnot. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Yeah, it might have been him, because I thought the guy looked like he was somewhat popular recently. But I remember telling him about, other televangelists, and he would just be like, yeah, and he would, like, look it up on the phone, how much they made, and I was just like, okay. But a lot of them, though, I just can't believe how crazy rich they are. And then that's the old half their show is begging for donations.
Oh, yeah.
Donate to your own show.
Oh, yeah.
They're basically like Scientology, but you don't get a tier.
There's a church in like South America that was selling plots of heaven, so that's cool. I don't know what's worse, the fact that they sold them or the fact that people would buy them so they kept selling them.
We already sold too many, but you might get one if we sell.
Yeah.
But you're definitely not gonna get one if you don't buy one of our stupid little things. That really sounds like something that the Pope would have tried to do by now. Yeah, but that didn't come right after the indulgences. Okay, now we're selling acres in heaven.
Yeah, the Pope is He's something, alright. That's for sure.
What did you say about that? I was talking to you and Jameson. What did the Catholics say like about the old stuff, like the indulgences? Because they don't believe that. Like what did
No, they say something like it was one bad bishop or whoever it was in power. I don't know if it's a bishop or what, who did it, and they got kicked out, and so it's okay because Catholic Church doesn't do that anymore. It's like, so it's still a huge part of your history, though. Well, you know, we
I
don't
thought
do it.
you
Blah 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 blah.
and
It was wrong.
Jameson were saying that there was like a year where they decide like this pope is like where they started like the like everything since then has been infallible, but before then they were like, yeah, we the Catholics didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I don't know. I don't
I
think
can't
so.
remember, and it might have been something that you and Jameson just came to a conclusion to, like on your own that day. You know, and it might not have been something that, yeah. But we were talking about the indulgences and stuff. I
Know.
really wish I could remember because Jameson like picked a pope and I went and looked it up and I remember thinking how right then you could draw a line because it was like in the middle of a gray period and after that the Catholics have been very similar, but you know before then there was indulgences and you know before that it was even worse.
I just like how the Pope is infallible when he's from the seat of Ex Cathedra or whatever it's called. And it's like, okay, when does he use that seat? Oh yeah, Pope hasn't used it in like 500 years. Okay, so what's the point of all these popes then? What are they doing? Just
They're
existing?
just making new saints. That's the other thing that drives me nuts about these Catholics. I mean, a lot of these like if these people that they make saints. I'm not saying anything bad about these people, but what irritates me is like, say they were converting religions, the Catholics have been like, oh yeah, you're going to hell. You've got to hurry up and do something. But no, you know, like now these people who were definitely set for purgatory in Catholics' eyes. I know how the Catholic bullshit works, and they were definitely set for purgatory. No, they're saints. Well, how can they be saints if they're? I don't get it.
I don't know. Catholics like to claim anyone who's like on the verge of becoming of converting Catholicism and dies, they will claim them in a heartbeat. Like Rich Mullins, they claim him like no other, even though he was never Catholic.
I didn't
Charlie
know
Kirk the
that.
same way. They're already trying to claim him as Catholic.
I didn't know that either, and that's so completely false. If you just watch literally anything he said.
Yeah, he was very against the Marian dog. He like went to mass and whatnot a couple times, but it's like that doesn't make you
If
Catholic.
he was a Catholic, he would have had a very. I mean, that would. How can you be a Catholic? And I mean, he clearly didn't agree with the Pope,
Yeah,
and like
nor the
yeah.
Marian dogma and whatnot. So
What's that?
that's
The
like the
idols.
praying to Mary and whatnot.
Yeah. The idols. Yeah, that's obvious. The difference in the Ten Commandments. I mean, that is blatant.
But they will very quickly claim anyone who dies, even if they show up to mass at least once, and they will claim them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was this. It was the most recent saint doctrine, and I'm sure the kid was just a fine kid, but it really
Oh, the
irritated me.
one
Just
child. Yeah, I know
yeah,
who
and
you're
he's like the
talking
saint of
about.
the internet or some shit
Yeah,
now.
something like that.
And I was just like, oh wow,
I
that
don't
what
know
a
anything about him. I
new
just
age
remember
garbage.
seeing something about it.
I watched it when it happened because it was a crime, you know. And I'm not like in tune with that garbage, but the people that I watch on YouTube I really like because they upload stuff from public footage, and so I don't know how they sift through all the public footage, but they usually upload stuff, and then like a couple days later it'll come out. Maybe they're able to see what Dateline and like those big crime shows are working on,
Hmm.
but they usually come out like just a week before those do, and they say the same exact thing, but they show what I want to see, like the body cam footage and stuff that actually happened. I really don't want to see a crime show with any sort of dramatization and like I just don't like that stuff. I want to see just what
Yeah.
happened. And they use public records. But my big thing is though, one of them is using the other's information because I thought it was very weird when 2 weeks in a row the people that I'm subscribed to uploaded what my mom watched on Dateline. And I thought that's weird. And so then I was like, okay, either I highly doubt Dateline is looking at what this YouTuber uploads. You know, I'm sure that somehow this YouTuber is able to know what Dateline's gonna upload in advance, or I don't know, maybe
I mean,
he
if it's
uses
just
the
popular
name.
for the moment, then
Yeah. Well, and that's the big thing, exactly what you said, you know, because if anybody watches that show or they caught a glimpse and didn't see the end, they might look it up on YouTube and he'll be the first thing to pop up because he already talked about it, you
yeah.
know? But like I'll be telling my mom I already saw this, and then we like skip through all I'll just sit through all this garbage of because they do all that crime show stuff. Like here was this other suspect. I don't care about the other suspects. I care about the guy you arrested. If somebody is arrested, let's just cut to the cheese.
I love the videos of like if if Dateline cut out all the BS and it's just like the intro and it's like, and this is his brother. He did it, and then it just rolls the
Yeah,
cutscene.
I know exactly. That's what I can't stand about crime shows. But the thing is, though, I don't dislike crime shows. I
See,
do
I
kind of
don't
like
like
that
crime
content.
shows.
Yeah, and so I watch it on YouTube. But I don't want to see anything like I'm not looking
I
for
mean, I
anything gory
love
and stuff like
body
that.
cam footage, but I don't like crime shows.
Mm.
Like, I
Yeah,
just
what
like
I
I want to
watch
see what
is
actually
really
happened.
put
I don't
together.
want like someone narrating a story over it. Like, I don't care for that.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yeah,
want to
you'd
see the
probably
actual
like who
footage.
I watch. The only people that I watch, the only weird thing they do is they show you like the interrogation, and they
See, I
always
like
say
that
this.
too.
Mm-hmm. And it's not, they don't always show confessions. They just show public records, you know. And a lot of times the people take call for an attorney. That's
Mhm.
because people eventually they remember, oh yeah, I could call for an
Yeah.
attorney when they're getting pressed by the cops. But some people do confess. But they show what's on public records that the cops have to release when they indict somebody. And when they show those, what they always say right before the video starts is they're like, "This has been reviewed by a licensed psychologist, a former
Yeah.
attorney." I'm just like, "What the hell? Why does this matter?" Like, I wonder if it wasn't reviewed by all this people. Like, it's public knowledge. Can't I just see it? But they always say it's been reviewed by like a
Yeah.
whole bunch of people, and I don't even know if that's true.
Is it like the
But
like
that's what they
Doctor
say.
Insanity and those guys and whatnot? Is that who you're watching? Or like
No,
Midwest
I've have seen
Safety?
him. No, the guy I watch the most, I watch Just Can't Swim, I thought was his name,
Oh, I haven't seen
JCS,
him.
but the big one that I watch is called EWU.
Oh yeah, Explore
What
with
is
Us. Yeah, I love them.
Explore with Us. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
their name.
yeah,
Yeah,
I like them.
that's the one I'm subscribed to. And what I don't like about them is they have like 80 fucking YouTube
Oh
channels,
yeah, they
and a
have a
lot of
bunch.
them upload garbage. I'm only subscribed to one, and it's the body cam one
Yeah,
because it
yeah, I
uploads
love
the
watching those.
first, you know, yeah, and it's just all the garbage cut out. The other one is basically if you want a crime show but on YouTube. And I don't want crime shows. I want only what we know has happened, and anything, you know, that I don't know. I don't even know why I care about that stuff. What I mostly care about though is like I care about like cop stuff and what the cops are able to do. And like what I always think is really weird, one thing that I saw that was so weird, I watched this really fucked up YouTube video where the cops pull out they pull over a woman who's got this fucking car just packed full of shit, and she's telling the cops up and down, it's all my laundry and shit. And then eventually the cops start digging in through her shit because they know she's like sweating bullets, and the cops just know there's something in there.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, the big thing is the car fucking reeks. Once she opened the trunk, like everything fucking reeked. And so when they open it, there's a fucking body in the trunk. It's wrapped in like blankets and blankets and blankets and fucking all sorts of shit. But I was watching that video, and that was put together with public record. Where was I going with that?
You'll figure it out. and you've lost it.
Oh, no, I remember now. This is what I thought was so weird. The cops pulled the stuff out, and this is what I thought was crazy. They were searching through everything, like her purse. The cops are just searching through it, like they normally do, and they were searching through all this stuff. The minute a cop, they had to cut through like hundreds of bags and blankets to find this really smelly thing. And the minute the cops saw blood, all the cops stopped touching the car. And it was because these cops were patrol cops. They had to call somebody who was like a crime scene investigator when they knew they found a body. They immediately arrested the woman, obviously, and they put her in the back of the car. But like the cop, he said, "Dude, I found something," and the other cop like stopped what he was doing.
Yeah, because
neither of the cops, they all stood on the sidewalk. Oh wait, there was 4 of them because there was 2
so
cars.
they don't mess up the evidence or anything.
Yeah, and I thought that was so weird, and they had to wait for this girl to arrive, and she was like in a suit, she was a detective or something, and she gave them the go ahead basically, and they all the cops did at that point on body cam was they held stuff open so she could take pictures.
Yeah.
And then they left, I think. I don't know if crime scene took over, but what I really want to know though is like that's so weird to me that all the cops had to like stop touching it. And because like what I really don't like is when people call the police and they're like I found somebody dead, and then they say like, okay, can you do CPR? And they're like, no, I don't want to be accused of a crime. And then they get mad at them. Well, you can't get mad at them when the cops like, hey, your fingerprints are nearby. Well, yeah, I found the body. It always just bugs me. Like if you found a body at Walmart, you probably shouldn't even touch it, even if you could help them. Because I don't know. I just don't like that stuff, and I completely understand when people call the cops. They're like, I'm not getting near him. He might be alive, but I'm not getting near him. You come here. This is your job.
Oh. Job complete. Achievement. Complete the removals via
You're
job.
doing your job.
I've done my job. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I do it. Oh. I've washed Jessica's moving van.
Her mooning van?
Moving van.
Why does she moon people with her van?
Nope.
I mean, if you did it with a sports car, it'd be way more funny, because you wouldn't even know.
Not how that works.
Yeah, that is how it works.
Oh, this looks easy. How does this one bench in this very clean area get so dirty?
She must have been driving by on that van when she mooned on it.
Bruh.
Oh, really gonna moon. Oh man, I got God on bench.
Gosh.
The spray paint guy will take care of it. I'll just call the sprayer guy.
Jeez.
He already washed my car.
Oh. Some nice, relaxing cleaning. Line the edges here. Usually, last game they like cut it off on a strict thing. It's when it kind of blurs out into the ground around it. Look at that. This game's evolved. Look at that. Look at that. Would you just look at it? Look at it. Would you just look at it? Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. A bench that says open underneath it. That's a weird place to put an open sign.
Well, they're just saying the bench is open for use.
Yeah, does it say closed after like 8 p.m. and no one can sit on the bench? Like
Well, no, it was closed before they wrote open. You're just supposed to assume.
What?
You're just supposed to know that it says open on the bottom.
I mean, it clearly says open on the bottom.
Yeah,
It's not
and so you
not a
you can tell
mystery.
from the top, you can see from the top, before they write open, oh, it's not open, I can't sit there. Maybe the paint's drying.
Yeah, that's the first thing I think of when I see a bench in public that doesn't say open on it. I don't think, man, that's just a bench. Yeah, who would think that?
Weird people.
Turns out I'm the stupid one.
You're just now realizing this.
Okay. Where's the dirt at? Oh, dirt, where are you? Am I stupid? Am I dumb?
Is there anything you need?
Well, what? Is it this? Oh, it's this.
If I wanted to make you a steak, well, I can try, but it might look weird because all we have is ground beef.
A little hard to make steak out of that. Whoa! Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that what they make like Salisbury steak out of?
I don't know.
Salisbury steak is a special kind of steak, and I think it's not. I don't think it's made with ground beef exactly, but there's a reason it's so tender.
So I completed what
Do
I was just gonna
you
say.
like Salisbury steak at all?
I've never had it, but I don't like
Oh,
beef
okay, so
steak
never
in
mind.
general.
You wouldn't know, because well, yeah, but like a steak, me and you know what a steak is, and it's good. But
Yeah,
like
like I said, I
Salisbury
don't really
steak,
like
when I
steak.
was little, that was a TV dinner, and I liked. Oh, you don't like steak?
No, I mean I like
Fuck off.
deer or I like elk steak or deer steak.
Yeah,
I mean,
you did tell me that.
but I don't like beef steak. I don't really care for.
Ribeye is delicious. Best thing ever.
I finished cleaning the bench, and then I realized it wasn't a bench, and it popped up out of the ground, and it's like a little kiosk thing.
Have you seen those toilets in London?
That's a very broad statement.
In those ones that like go in and out of the ground, they're in the ground. Those they're in
I have
Europe.
not seen those, but it sounds cool.
They added them near bars because apparently they had a problem where people were just peeing like on the street and stuff, and so like people's houses were getting peed on near bars, and so the British people near this tavern, they said we need some public restrooms installed, and they installed these things that go in and out of the ground. They're like those things that are there to stop cars, but a car can
The
go through it if they're
bollards.
down. Yeah, bullard. Yeah, that's what they're called. I could have just said, you know what a bullard is? Yeah, those bullards. It's like a really huge one of those, and it comes out of the ground, and there's a toilet in there, and you can go in there and use the toilet. But then apparently they're able to go under it like ground, and then they can sanitize themselves.
Oh.
And somebody unfortunately already got stuck in one, and I don't think that turned out very well. They
Or
got like hurt by it because they were like trying to go out when it was closing. I guess I don't know. And who would have thought that would happen? I mean, that clearly was
Instructions
gonna happen
unclear.
eventually.
Stuck in disc tray.
Yeah, you see exactly. Yeah. I watched a video and it made me mad because it was a video, like called Dark Records or Fascinating History, some video where you know what it's gonna end up being. But like the minute they explained the idea, I was like, how did you not foresee this? This should have been the first thing. I mean, if the bench can,
if you're making it
this
for
whole
literal
toilet
drunk
can go
people,
into the ground,
then you need it to be as safe as possible.
Yeah, no shit. Exactly what you said too. What you said is an even better example. This is for people who are not in their correct state of mind. They're not even people who can drive. They can just pee. That's about all they can do. But not only that, but like what irritates me is if you think about this toilet, there's some way that it can go into the ground, and if it fails, it's gonna just fall. And that's what happened eventually. But I don't know. The whole thing is just. I guess you could say the same thing about elevators, but they've been a lot more useful than they've been bad. Same goes for planes, I guess. But
same goes for literally anything.
My big thing is you could have just made an outdoor toilet that flushed. Like, what the hell? Why was that? And not only that, the video I watched talked about how these toilets were so much more expensive than an outdoor toilet that fucking flushes. In Europe, though, they have different laws. I'm sure you've seen European stalls, haven't you? How they go all the way to the ground.
I mean, that would just make logical sense, unlike America. Oh.
Well, in America, they don't do that because if
they can save money.
If a tweaker tweaks out in a bathroom, they'll die in there, and so they do that for safety reasons, or in case somebody has an episode, people can get in there and get people out. But in Europe, they don't do that for privacy, and there's a lot of the UK has even more laws than we do when it comes to public restrooms. Because when you have a restroom like that can have handicapped people, you can put that sign out, but it's very difficult to get all the stuff right and all the licensing. Because you have to have licensed people put in licensed products, when to say your bathroom is handicap certified, and there's all sorts of stuff you have to go through just to say your bathroom is a good, okay public bathroom in London, I guess, which is why they passed that bill that was going to install these toilets. I don't think it was in London. It was somewhere in the UK. And they're in other parts of Europe, but where the guy got hurt, obviously, was in the UK, where they were first installed.
Yeah.
To me, they sound scary. Like, if I have ever seen one, I'd have peed on it. I wouldn't have gone in there.
Jeez.
I already don't like elevators. People said the stairs were healthier, and I was like, fuck it, I already like the stairs. I don't need to take this big wobbly thing that people get stuck in.
Yeah, I always use the stairs in college. I almost never use the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I've never really, I don't know, I don't go to many buildings with elevators, so...
My problem isn't like any fear of elevators, but my family has bad vertigo, and so everyone would take the stairs if they could, because when you get on an elevator, the way it wobbles around, it's just so. When I get to the top, you know how you can feel the elevator, start moving up.
Yeah.
When I get to the top floor, even if I just go up one floor, not to the top floor, just whatever floor I'm going to, and I step off an elevator, I feel like I'm just on an elevator going up. And I keep getting that weird stopping feeling, and it makes me so dizzy. I hate elevators. And so the stairs, I can just run right up the stairs. And not only are they faster than the elevator, and I don't have to wait for an elevator, but there's nobody on the stairs. And it's supposedly healthier.
That's what I liked about college, was like, I don't have any like fear or anything against elevators. I was just like, the highest building I had to routinely go up to was like the 3rd floor. And it's like, it's faster than the elevator, and I just I don't have to have an awkward sitting there with somebody with the elevator. And like I said, I get there faster, so it's like, why would I take the elevator?
Yeah, I wish you could have seen me. Me and you aren't the same. I was staying at a hotel, and my uncle passed away, and he lived outside of Rapid City, and so I was staying at a hotel in Rapid, and the only. It was
the hotels will use the elevator as long as they're not a huge one, or as long as they're not a tiny one.
It had normal elevators. You'd have probably been fine with them. I think the elevators were normal.
Well, I should say I use them if I'm doing my luggage.
We were on the 9th floor, and so you had to go up. There was 2 flights of stairs for each staircase, but you didn't have to go all the way to the 1st floor. I think the 2nd or 3rd floor was where the lobby was.
Yeah.
And so we were basically on the 7th floor. So I was going up about like 14 flights of stairs and going down 14 flights of stairs, but it was better. Like I came up exasperated. I was breathing a lot, but it was way fun. Yeah, I can run up and down stairs, and as long as I grab the handles, I'm not gonna fall. And I don't skip stairs or anything. I just run up the stairs.
You're not a cool kid, huh?
No. I used to think I was a cool kid, and then I fell in front of people and realized how fucking stupid I looked. And then I didn't do that anymore.
Oh.
And the other thing is, though, thankfully it wasn't on concrete stairs when I did do that. It was like metal stairs on spine. But the stairs in these hotels, they're like concrete. Nobody even goes in them. And I'm just sitting running up and down because I hate the elevator. And I will happily run up a whole bunch of flights of fucking stairs. I hate elevators so much. And I have no fear of them, and going down isn't nearly as bad. I can go down in an elevator, but going up is a huge problem. And so going upstairs is harder than going downstairs, but I will happily go up the stairs.
Yeah, I don't have anything against elevators. I've just always liked the stairs more because it's just quicker in my opinion. Unless it's like I said, like if I stay in a hotel and it's like I'm gonna take my luggage up the elevator. Or if it's like a tall hotel, which I've basically never stayed in, I'd use the elevator. But yeah.
Yeah, I've stayed in. I probably what you would consider tall hotels.
Anything past 5 is tall to me.
Yeah, I haven't stayed on I can't even remember the tallest one I've been in, but none of them were past probably 10 floors. But and see, that's the thing, when you get on the elevator, there's all those buttons, but a lot of those buttons, the star will be on 3, and that's ground level. If you press the buttons below that, the elevator actually won't even go there. You need a key. And so probably the tallest hotel I've been in is maybe I don't know, 8 floors. It was probably that one I'm talking about.
This thing I'm washing, how it was originally just a bench in the ground, now it popped up and it was some weird kiosk thing. Now that I cleaned the outside, the door of it opened, and guess what it is? It's a restroom that's popped out of the ground.
Yeah, see, it's one of those things. Be careful. Make sure you're in or out of it. Because they can get you out of it if you're in it, but if you're halfway, you're going to get seriously injured.
There's no way we're talking about it, and I'm cleaning one.
I would jump in those things really fast and hurt myself.
Well, this bathroom's the size of a small house. Not really. It's the size of a tree house, but man. No way we're cleaning one as we were talking about it, not knowing it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised those are popular just because of that. When that game was being produced, I'm sure that was probably one of the biggest headlines at the time.
The game is also British, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, so they really know. They might be opposed to it. I don't know how Brits feel about these toilets, but to me, I don't know, I would say they seem dangerous, but, coming from an American, a British person would say, yeah, you the guys live in a gun-ridden country.
Why they start schools on shooting zones?
The best thing, one of the best memes I've ever seen is I haven't had to care what someone British. It had some British guy complaining about outlets or something. I don't know. It was something popular at the time. It had a British guy complaining about that, and below it said, "I haven't had to care what the British people had to say since
1776."
Yeah, I know. I thought that was
that's the usual comeback.
I hadn't seen that.
I think we fought a war that said your opinion doesn't matter.
Your opinion?
I think we have some war or something that said that. I could be wrong though.
Your opinion.
Pretty sure we won, and that means that your opinion doesn't matter to us.
Well, and what I think is really weird is I was telling my mom the other day,
about PowerWash toilet paper.
I was trying to explain to my mom that whole Hassan thing because
Yeah.
she had seen Kevin talked about it, and so I was explaining to her how I know very little about the situation. I told her he's a terrorist, surprise, surprise, and he was a piece of shit to his dog because he's a terrorist. But not only that, I was talking just in general about how I don't watch like political stuff, like even Republican stuff. I don't anything that aligns with my view. I don't even really watch political stuff. I don't care about political stuff, and I
Yeah.
really don't want anything that goes against my political view. But all the things that I do watch are channels like Vsauce that just talk about stuff in general, like not science exactly, but just topics, But what I did notice is all the political channels I watch are actually Australian, which I thought is very, very weird. Two of them are. One of them I think isn't Australian. I think they pretend to be Australian. I don't know if they're like trying to sound that way, or if the people actually have that accent and they're just reading that way. But I think they're like Americans because they talk about they really relate to America issues too well for them to be Australian. But two of them they live there, and I didn't even know that. One of them said it recently, but I just thought that was weird because in Australia they technically, their prime minister stuff. I don't know anything
In
about their
Australia, they
government.
firebomb you if you try to show how equipped they are.
Well, and I don't know, like I know a little bit about how the government works in the UK. I know there's the House of Kings and the House of Commons, and the House of Commons is appointed by the people, or the House of Lords and the House of Commons. And the House of Commons, I think, is made by the people. They vote in the people, and they become whatever. Basically, it's like the Senate and the legislature, but the people in Britain are able to appoint the people in the legislature. The king and queen appoint the people in the Senate, basically. But that's also the difference. Like how the Senate was made for more people more landowners, and how the legislature was made for more people. It's less like that. The House of Lords and the House of Commons kind of have the same power, but in or whatever legislature they pass has to go through both of those houses. And then I guess it gets the stamp of the queen, but I don't think that the king and queen, if the houses approve it, I don't think that the king and queen can say no. Because it's a constitutional monarchy. They don't. I'm pretty sure they're just kind of like. But that's the thing that people told me in school they were figureheads. But that's the thing. That's not true. When they literally appoint the Senate, they pick the people that go into the House of Kings or the House of Lords, whatever. And it's not their version of the Senate, but they're equal. They have equal power.
Yeah.
And the Senate and Congress have equal power. I think actually the legislature in America has more power than the Senate does, but I don't know that. I'm pretty sure if they all agree, though, I think that the House of what do they call it? There's the Senate, and why can't I?
Just Parliament or what?
No, in America, what is it?
Oh,
The
in
Senate
America,
and what?
Congress.
Congress. Well, no, yeah, there's but Senate is part of Congress. What's the other part? The House of
Representatives.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the House of Representatives. I'm pretty sure the House of Representatives has more power if they all agree, don't they? Or does the Senate have more power? Like if say everyone
I have no
agrees.
clue.
I think that the House in the end. I know that
Checks
the
and
most
balances.
powerful version of that's the thing. You learn about checks and balances in school, and the only end all check and balance should be the people and the Constitution. But the checks and balances don't work out if all of the Senate and all of the House agree. They are by far the most powerful. They can They can overrule the Supreme Court. They can veto the president. They can impeach the president. They can elect who they want. But the thing is, they all need to agree, and we appoint them. And
What's the part
so
of
it's a
checks and
republic.
balances, and then the Supreme Court could come in and tell them no, because the Supreme Court's they're the real ones with all the power. The law of the
That's
land.
what you think. But if all of the House and Senate agree, they can overrule the Supreme Court.
Yeah, but then the Supreme Court and the executive branch can come together.
They can't.
But
They can
can
impeach the fucking president.
Yeah, but they can't if... No, they don't have supreme power.
If they all agreed, they would. That's the
No.
thing. They can't all agree because it's like it's checks and balances because they're appointed from all over the U.S. They would never all agree. But if they did all agree, they would be the most powerful branch of the government. Because that's what I said in school. I wrote a thing about how the Supreme Court would be, and then my teacher was like, "Hey, no, it doesn't work that way. They can literally veto Supreme Court decisions." And it's happened. But they have to, more than 3/4 of them have to agree. 75%, I believe, have to agree. And that's like for a whole bunch of stuff. That's like impeachment, overruling a lot of stuff. But if 80% agree, then they can do even more stuff. There's more, they have more power if 80%. That's the, I think, the end all be all like decision in Congress. That's the majority. If 80% say this, then it goes that way, even if 20% say no. But I don't know that. That's the last thing that I'd heard. But I still know that for sure the legislature is the most powerful branch. The thing is, they'd all have to agree, and all they're doing is fighting. That's why the government is shut down. It's because of the legislature. Everyone wants to point their finger at Trump, and it's not Trump. It's literally all the people in fucking Congress, and their people. Paid, that when government shit gets shut down, they get paid, but no other government worker does. What the fuck?
I like what Thomas Massey said about he thinks there should be a ban on omnibus bills. So it's like every bill that's to be passed needs to be a single issue bill, so we can stop all this BS of like people not voting for something because it has one thing in it, or vice versa, or voting for something because it has one thing in it.
Pork, going through when they push through something that people want, but they write a bunch of stuff at the bottom.
Exactly.
I agree with that, but the thing is, then stuff like would go through so slowly.
Because it's going through so quick now.
They need to make a law where the fucking government has to work, and they need to be more transparent. I don't know. The C-SPAN needs to be. More people don't watch that, but that's like news to me. I can just sit and watch the fucking Senate hearings, and they're mostly fucking. They're mostly just quiet, and it's mostly just people like I learned in a government class that senators and representatives, they can hire like basically secretaries to act as the senator or representative for them. They can sit in the chair and vote for them. They can say this senator says this. For important things, they do have to show up though.
If you're in Texas, you can just flee to Illinois and really not do your job.
That's state government shit, and that's really fucking. I couldn't believe that stuff. I don't even know how all state governments work.
Which, to me personally, I'd be pretty freaking annoyed if I voted for someone and their way of working was just going somewhere and not doing something, in the guise of saying you're working. It's like, no, stay and actually fight something instead of just leaving and saying that's how you're working by going and doing nothing. Like, I would be so mad if I voted for that person.
You know how you vote for like a mayor and a governor? You cut out. What'd you say?
Yeah.
Do you know how like the Indiana government works? Like, do you know what's in between all that stuff?
In general, I don't know exactly what you mean, but. What do you mean explain?
Like, because in Nebraska, I didn't know this. You know how we have a bicameral Congress? We have the Senate and the House, the bicameral. In Nebraska, I didn't know this. We have a monocameral or a unicameral government. Everyone appoints a representative basically for your area. When you go to vote, you vote for a representative in your area, and then you vote for the fucking whoever is going to be the representative of Nebraska to the federal government and the Senate, but you vote for this person who's going to represent your small little portion of Nebraska, and they go meet in Lincoln and in the state capitol.
Yeah.
But I thought that was weird that we have a unicameral house is what they called it. Do you know how Indiana works?
No, not specifically.
Yeah, I didn't think you knew that. I wondered if you new. Like, I'm sure you vote for someone who represents your area, but I wonder like how many people you vote for, because I heard that Nebraska was unique, but at the same time,
I
I
have
don't know
yet
how
to
another
vote in an
state would work.
election. I haven't
You
cared
do?
enough. I haven't cared enough to vote in any of the elections so far, which I should care more about local stuff, but I just don't, and there's not a good,
I'm much more
reliable way
concerned
to
like
get
about who we vote for
information
senators and
about them.
stuff in my
See,
state.
I'm more concerned about the local government than I am the federal government, because in my state you're not really, even if you disagreed with the majority, then if you agree with the majority, then cool, you don't really need to vote. If you disagree, you're not going to get anywhere, so it doesn't matter. But
My
I
thing
care
is
more about the
here
local
you
stuff, but I can't, like, it's so hard to get any information about any of the local people that I don't care enough to just, which, that's bad on my part, I should care more, but I just don't care enough to sit there and, like, heavily research what these people think. And
yeah, I
and
don't
when you do, you just figure out how trash they are, and I'm not going to be willing to vote for any of them.
mm. Well, and that's the thing. I don't know like a bunch of stuff about it. Like we vote in judges here, and I think you probably do that too. I think judges are publicly appointed people. I didn't actually know that. I thought they just got their job, but they don't.
Yeah.
The people vote them in, and they have to run for little elections. And when you
Yeah.
go to the ballot box, it'll say, "Do you wish for this person to be voted in as a judge, or do you like people have to rerun to be a judge?" And so it'll say, "Do you wish for this person to be a judge?" And I know a lot of those people because some of them I grew up with and they were adults when I was younger, and some of them I know just from I've lived here for a long time in
Mhm.
this area, but the thing that I worry about was like recently it was in the primary. There was a person running. There were two people running for the conservative. I think it was legislation seat, but one of them was from New York. And that really, really irritated me. That really frustrated me, and I went and voted, and I was glad that he did not win. Because the thing is, if he would have won, he definitely would have won once the primary started. Because everybody in Nebraska just votes for R. I mean, they blindly look at their paper and they just vote red.
Oh, no.
And for the most part, maybe my ballot might look the same, but I do make other decisions. And
Yeah, personally,
uh,
like if you can go in there and just like select a Republican only ticket, like that's so dumb to me. Like like
mm,
you at least like have to manually, because like some places you don't even have to manually fill out the boxes. That's just like that's dumb to me.
mm.
Like at least check the name next to the people instead of just saying, oh, they're an R. I vote for them.
Well, and what I don't like is, like what a lot of people don't like is how two system it is. How come
Oh
only
yeah.
two names get to be on the fucking thing? There's two choices for everything, yes or no, and then for the president, there's three choices: the red, blue, or you. Basically. And
Oh yeah.
so I vote for myself for president, but no one's ever voted for me, so
Uh,
I never win the popular vote.
One of my high school teachers one year got like 18 votes or something like that, which is hilarious.
There you go. I couldn't. Did you? I saw a thing that this was fucking. I think it was a town in North Carolina. D's nuts got 33% of the popular vote.
Well, Kanye got like 30,000 votes or 12,000 or something just in Tennessee alone during the
Mm.
last presidential election.
I couldn't believe though that in this small town, enough people voted D's nuts for like in the popular vote.
Mm.
But I care a lot more about primaries. But you have to register in a party to do that, and then you're a statistic.
Then when you do something horrible later, then they can say that, oh, you were registered with this party,
Yeah, exactly.
even if you're one of those people that like, 'cause I know plenty of people who like, especially in this state where it's like so red that like if you're a Democrat, then you vote in the Republican primary because it's the only one that matters.
Exactly. I was gonna say I know a lot of registered
And you
Democrats who are
like,
way more conservative than me.
it's like I know people who like voted in the primary in like 2016 solely so they could vote for Hillary, or not for whoever it was, I forget who, running against Trump in the primary against Trump, so Trump wouldn't win. Which obviously that didn't work, but Yeah,
Yep.
it's like they aren't Republican whatsoever, but they did it just to vote against Trump. Because there's no point of them voting for Hillary in that primary, you know?
Yeah, most of the people I know are registered Democrats because of that. They want to fuck up the Democratic primary, and I'm just like, yeah, you go, guys. Your 3 votes. It's really gonna change everything. And I doubt they even drown out. Yeah, like the county probably drowns them out. But I register in ours, and I was very glad I did just a couple of years back because when that stupid idiot from New York was running, I was like, guys, we're not seriously going to let this guy run on a Republican ticket. Not only are Republicans not born in New York, but people that run for Nebraskan government should not be born in New York.
I've completed this pop-up bathroom. Look at how clean it is now.
Look at the last Republican that I can remember from New York. He was that weird fuck who got arrested or something for the funds scandal, and he's now no longer part of government. What was his name?
Anthony Weiner.
Anthony sounds right. I can't
funny
remember his
name
name.
for a guy who had a sex scandal.
I just couldn't believe that I watched a video and they said he was a Republican in New York. And I was like, what? That those exist?
Yeah, I bet you're thinking of Anthony Weiner. Once again, funniest name to have a sex scandal.
Is that literally his name?
Yes. 100% yes. I hope it's the guy you're thinking of.
I don't know how to find the... Okay, so who's the guy you're thinking of? What's his name?
Anthony Weiner. Still funny. It's never gonna not be funny.
No, that doesn't look like the guy that I'm talking about. No, who's this? I should just go look at my YouTube videos because I think I'm still subscribed to the guy that made a video about it. The guy that I'm thinking of, it was this guy. George Santos was his name.
Oh, yeah.
And
the guy that
he's
Trump
gonna...
just
Yeah, I was gonna say,
sentence.
it looks like he's... Yep. I was gonna say, it looks like he's already out.
Yeah. Interesting choice of someone to commute, but, you know.
Well, next it'll be Ghislaine Maxwell, so...
Gosh.
That'll be really interesting.
People might actually... if he does that, people will lose their minds. Rightfully so.
I would hope so, but people... I don't know. I don't think anybody else could have won the ticket now, but I don't know if I should be that concerned about it. The last, like you said, the last 2 fucking elections, there's not been anybody worth voting for.
Yeah, I haven't voted at all because I can't bring myself to vote for any of the people.
Yeah, I'm always gonna vote, but because it's the least I can do.
Yeah.
I think it's important, and I like to think that my local votes matter, especially in primary.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, I feel bad about not voting local. Like, that's the thing I should care about, but...
Yeah, and I remember just the other day I voted for a judge not to be a judge anymore, but he's still a judge. But I think most people just write yes, 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 yes on all those things. And, like, I read through all the amendments that they're trying to push through, and I really hope other people read through some of that crap. It is such garbage. I hope they just say no. Because some of it, I'm like, God, if this gets passed, I mean, there's so much pork at the bottom. And because I read the whole thing that they at least hand out, like, the voters forum, and they don't even say everything on the voters forum that you fill out. But here they write out, like, they have to write out the legalese terminology, you know, what the law will say. And I read it, and I'm just like, well, what the hell? I don't think this should be a law. And my big thing is, though, I don't lean left or right. I lean very libertarian. And so when I see a new law, I'm just like, no, we need less of those. This is the problem, is laws. But some of them I agree with. But any law that laws that would make future laws harder to put in, I do like those laws. Because like when when California went really nuts on the green energy, and they not only gave people like tax breaks, but they started like making gas things illegal.
Yeah.
In my state, they made laws that made it. There were laws made so against making laws that made gas things illegal, and so I voted for those laws because I wanted just to make it harder to make gas things illegal in the future
Yeah.
because people need to work farm equipment here. That's how all the stupid batteries get built now. All the food we eat gets made. It's made with diesel. It's not made with this green electricity that you think is so magical.
Oh.
Dougie, I bet you're gonna believe this, but let's pretend it's a joke. You're not gonna believe what the most powerful green sector energy is.
What?
Fucking nuclear energy. It just makes fucking steam.
Oh.
But no,
The
that's
people hear
not
the word
considered green
nuclear and
energy.
get
They
scared.
put it in its own little group because yeah, it's scary. Just what you said. It's too scary. We don't want to talk about it.
Chernobyl happened, and now nobody can have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And I love how drives me so nuts is how so many liberals use like French and UK law, European laws. They're like we need to be following Europe, and especially a lot of the people I know
We fought a war that said we don't have to follow Europe.
And a lot of people that I knew at the time that argued with me about that would talk about French laws. And what really irritated me about that was the fucking fact that just lost the thought again.
Does that have to do with nuclear power?
Yes, thank you. Yes. French they are the fucking spearheads of nuclear power. And that's what irritates me so much when people they talk about how green France is. Yeah, it's because a lot of their fucking energy is nuclear. They didn't get scared away from fucking Chernobyl and shit. And what really pisses me off is how the
France's
world news
government
they
is doing
don't talk
great
about
right
that
now.
at all. Yeah, I know. I don't know if
They're
say
even
that.
like, no, that's what I'm saying. Is they're worse off than us right now.
Yeah, I
They've had
think
how much
France is
turnover and crap
they
lately?
have their own issues, and it's really severe. But what drives me nuts is when people are like talking about how good France is, especially power wise, and then they don't even mention that. Oh yeah, a lot of it's nuclear, which they're so scared of. If you just stop being scared of that, we could be so much farther ahead, and we would even be greener too. It's literally a win-win.
Oh, it'd be too easy.
Yeah, and it would suck, if more people had to go to college and we could pay more doctors to do really expensive jobs in America. But no, we just don't do that. Then again, though, and to be fair, when I say that, where are we going to get this magical money to pay these magical doctors? If they existed, there right now, money's being used. The government, I mean, they might need a new Rolls Royce. And clearly, they need a new ballroom. They're already destroying part of the fucking White House to add a.
See,
I'm
that
so
one,
glad
that one
taxpayer
I
dollars
don't.
are going to that.
Exactly. Well, no, it's not taxpayer dollars. That's the thing. That's why I don't really see why people
What
are that
then?
upset
Whose
about
dollars is it?
It's
Whose money is wasted on
Trump's
fucking
Trump
shit?
/ private donors.
Okay, I care more about the private donors. Trump can do whatever he wants.
But yeah, it's like I don't think people are way too upset about that in my opinion.
Well, if Trump doesn't like the size of
If-
the bathroom, he can change the size of the bathroom.
If
He lives in the damn
someone
house.
if someone else did that, if it wasn't Trump doing that, people would not care that much. Like I have a hard time believing that when Truman like renovated everything on the inside except the exterior in like the 1950s, I have a hard time believing that people are as upset as they are right now about Trump doing this.
I wonder if they even talked about it.
It's like, if anyone other than Trump was doing this, people would not care this much. It is not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and I only know because, like you said, it's just been such a big deal on the news, and none of it. affected me until I heard it was going to be like 300 some million. I was like, God damn, I hope that's not taxpayer money.
It's
I
not.
figured it wasn't because yeah, usually Trump it doesn't do stuff like that, but still that
I think when
it, like
Obama
why
renovated the White House, this is the same thing as he paid. Is like they paid for it and whatnot. So like, I don't know why people are
wouldn't the government not be shut
freaking out.
down if Trump and those private donors just put that money into healthcare instead of renovating the White House, which doesn't need renovating? If they put 300 million more dollars into healthcare, I bet the Democrats might have been more happy to eat the bill.
Oh.
But no, the government is still shut the fuck down. It just makes me so irate that they get paid and
Yup.
they're the ones who shut it down. I just can't believe that. That should make everyone in America grab a pitchfork and a torch. Like
Or a gun.
everybody, we should be all. Well, see, that's the thing. I'd say a gun, but we're on stream, so you have to say a pitchfork and a torch, and we're not gonna light fires. It's gonna be a peaceful protest where we tell the people in government you're no longer part of the government.
It's going to be a 2016 George Floyd peaceful protest. The summer of love.
Yeah, gonna be a peaceful protest where I get to rebuild a little bit of the White House.
Yeah,
I don't think it needs a fence.
I think people are too upset over that, in my personal opinion. People are like,
yeah,
it's our house, blah blah blah, you shouldn't be able to change it. But then it's like, my thoughts are like, have you ever personally, like all these people mad about, have you ever personally stepped in the East Wing? How can you really care that much? Like, you say it's your house, but you're probably never going to go there in your life. And if you do, you go there one time, and you're probably not even going to enter half this crap that they're renovating. So, like, how much do you really care? Are you
what
mad,
matters a lot
or are
more
you
to
just
me
mad
is
because
just like the Lincoln Monument and the Washington Monument and the American flag. It's not like you're defacing America. It has nothing. The White House is just the house where the president lives. Like you said, I just don't. It's not our house either. Our house should be Capitol fucking Hill, but it isn't. That's run by a bunch of fucking people who are getting paid right now to not do their jobs. And they all get to, you should fucking see it. I know people who have been to DC. That place, it's got like gyms, restaurants, the nicest shit you can imagine is you never even need to, that building with the rotunda, the literal Capitol Hill, you don't even need to leave that building. You could just live in there. There's fucking gyms and shit. It's so nice. And those people get all that shit for free. They're paid and they're not doing their jobs right. That's my problem. You know what I think we should do? We should renovate that building. We should bomb it. They should work in the fucking environment like some teachers have to. Why should teachers have to teach outside if these fucking people get to do so much shit in the goddamn government building?
Shout out to the one Democrat who said, yes, families are going to suffer, but this is one of the few leverages that we have, which is a wild statement to say during the shutdown. And you just agreed that it's the Democrats that are shutting it down, which I think it's both sides. I don't think it's one side or the other. Like, obviously, yes, the Democrats could vote to save it, but also the Republicans could make it where they want to.
Hey, Dougie, how many times have I told you, and you've yelled at me, that it takes two to tango? And people get mad at me when I say that.
So
but
it's like, I don't think it's a one side or the other, but like, when you're out here blatantly saying that this is our leverage point, keeping it shut down and making families suffer, like, that's insane to me.
And they're all getting paid. Hey, I don't care what side of the fucking fence they're on. They shouldn't be getting paid right now because they're not doing their job. And there's like people. What irritates me is like I get my weather from NOAA, and like they're right now they're operating just fine. I don't know how they do. This happened before. Like I remember when fucking Obama was running the government. This was happening all the time. Every other day they were saying at least with Obama he took breaks. I guess the government reconvened and then decided to shut down again. But it's you can't even call it the longest government shutdown when Obama had it just shut down the same amount of time, just not consecutively. But the government shut down a bunch of times back then, and whenever it does, NOAA says like we may run into issues, and they never do. But like all those meteorologists, they do a lot of math, and they're out there predicting the weather and not getting paid to do that. But you're paid to not do your job. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. That should be illegal. I
think it was today during the White House. press meeting that like Caroline Leavitt was specifically talking about air traffic controllers still doing their jobs, blah 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 blah. They're getting pretty upset, blah 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 blah, something like that. I don't know. I didn't pay too much attention. I just kind of had it on in the background.
Do you remember what Reagan did back when they went on strike?
No,
a long time ago.
absolutely not.
I was hoping you did, because I want to know if I think it's illegal for them to even like get like they can unionize. I'm sure there's unions, because that I don't think they can make that illegal. But the thing that drives me nuts is I don't. Yeah,
not illegal,
right.
but like they can like make an agreement to not do it.
Well, and I know how hard that the government can make it to be for unions to exist, but like they're supposed to is my thing. It's gun-free zone, so let's just assume there's no guns there.
Yeah.
But my big thing is I'm pretty sure since back when Reagan was president, the air traffic controllers were all they were all not doing their job. They were I don't know what you call it when they're not. Yeah, they were on strike, and that was a huge
Krusty
problem
Krab's unfair. Mr. Krabs is in there.
And so what Reagan did is he literally made them go back to work. He forced them to go back to work, or they would lose their jobs. And things eventually got better. He did things that would make things better. But the very first thing he did is he just basically gave them the finger and said, fuck you, you're gonna work, or you're gonna lose your job. And so they did go back to work at the time because they needed their jobs. But I think since those laws were passed, I don't know if they would have I would assume they still impact, I don't think they were ever vetoed or some shit, but I don't think air traffic controllers are allowed to strike. So no matter how much we don't pay them, the worst thing they can do is crash planes. You've made it worse. You've given them too much power. Instead of going on strike, they'll not do their jobs, which is worse.
Sucks to suck, buddy.
Yeah, I know. But I don't even know that. I just know that during Reagan's term, there was a problem with the air traffic controllers, and I was really surprised because the first thing he did was not. It didn't seem like something a Republican would do. He didn't fix the problem, or offer more pay. He just said, "Fuck you, go back to work." But eventually things got better. I don't remember how it worked out. But the thing is, I've seen so many videos about it, and I know so much what I think are facts, air quotes, but everything is from one side. It's either really conservative or really liberal, and so I never know what's the fucking truth. And like in school, they barely even taught me about it. The only thing we learned about when Reagan was president is that there was an assassination attempt. That's all I learned about Reagan in school.
Oh, so if you would have told me there was an assassination attempt on Reagan, I would have said, I don't think so.
You didn't know that?
It doesn't come to mind.
He was actually shot.
Like, if you gave me a list of presidents with assassination attempts, like, Ronald Reagan would not have come to mind.
The guy who did it was absolutely batshit. He was trying to get the attention of the girl, and the girl...
Tell me the guy who shot a president is crazy? No way.
Well, like the guy who just shot Charlie Kirk is crazy as fuck, but like he had, like, you can see his political thing. He was fucking a dude, and he didn't like that Charlie Kirk said, maybe don't do that. You can follow his stupid train of thought. The guy who shot Reagan literally just wanted to be noticed by a girl, and the girl didn't have any interest in politics. It was like some girl he went to high school with, and I guess he thought if he shot the president, his name would be in the news and she would see it or something.
Well,
but
he ain't wrong.
And he actually got hit, though. He got hit, and he was shot, I believe, in the chest, in the right side of the chest, and the bullet kind of went, I think it went, in his armpit, kind of, and out his back. I don't know where the bullet went, but it did hit him. And the guy had a pistol, and he was apprehended very quickly, probably died. But yeah, I just thought that was crazy. But they just don't teach a lot in school. There's a lot of history that I didn't learn. And like the Wild West was, they just talked about literally, I mean, in school that was as romanticized as a movie. They talked about the Revolutionary War and the Civil War, and then they just were like, the Wild West, it was so great, and then they moved on. Like they didn't talk about it at all in school. And not only that, but it had a lot to do with my state's history. But like I told you, I was moving at the time, and I moved perfectly during grades, so I never really learned any state history. I did learn how the state government worked in the state I currently live in, but when I moved right before I can't remember, like right when I would have learned the history. Oh yeah, the next grade I would have learned the history in South Dakota, but the
And the
year
previous
before you
grade would
learned,
have been
yep,
Nebraska.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The year previous, or the year that year was the year you learned the history of the state I currently live in. So I didn't even learn the history, but like the Wild West had a lot to do with it. And in middle school and high school, they didn't talk one single bit about it. After the Civil War, the world just paused. It stopped turning until there was all the sudden presidents and more or like not all the sudden presidents, but like it just I don't even
I
remember.
mean,
I can't tell you where they
we didn't
picked
really
back up.
talk about the Wild West much at all in school that
I'm
I
trying to
remember.
think about
Like,
where
I mean,
they
we
picked
talked
back
about
up.
cowboys and whatnot, and westward expansion, manifest destiny, all that good stuff. But
In high school, they
and
did
ghost
teach us about
towns,
the
but not
Spanish
really.
American War a little bit. That war that had that like that's where the Remember the Alamo comes from.
Yeah.
They taught us a little bit about that in high school, but that was all they taught us about the age you consider the Wild West. For the most part, they just talked about what was going on the East Coast. They didn't talk about anything that was going on in Central America or where I lived,
Yeah, no, we
and I
didn't
didn't like that.
really either.
But thankfully, when I went to college, I had told you I had that. He was a lawyer, but he hated his life so much that he went and got a PhD in history and started teaching history because he hated being a lawyer so much. But he was the smartest person I've talked to, and his PhD was in the Wild West, and it was so cool talking to him because the big thing he says, if you even try to talk to him, all he'll tell you is it's over romanticized, it's over romanticized, it's over romanticized, because everything you hear is just garbage. I mean, you don't know anything unless I don't even know how you know what he knows. I don't know where you find credible sources, but he said it's really gray, and if you look into it, the closer you look, nobody was good or bad. See, that's the thing, the farther you go back, people are just different, things were different, and nobody seems to remember that. People just want to erase history like it didn't happen, and if you do that, we'll repeat it.
You need to watch the Shane Gillis bit on him going to the George Washington's home.
I
You'd
think
like
I've
it.
seen it. I've seen quite a bit of Shane Gillis,
I love
but
Shane
all I've
Gillis.
seen though is only the first stuff. Because I know there's one paid thing that I haven't seen. It was like his like main, I don't know what you call them,
Netflix
those like
special.
Bayviews. Yeah, the Netflix special. I
Yeah,
haven't seen
beautiful
that.
dogs. So good. It's
Hmm.
in that special. It was
Yeah,
so
I've
good.
only seen clips from that special, but the clips that I've seen that are free, I've tried to see.
So good.
Uh,
I rewatched it like a couple weeks ago. So funny. I love Shane Gillis. This TV show is pretty good too. Oh, just got the fire pit left to wash here. Very odd thing to clean. How do these people let these things get this dirty?
has anybody come by to start some political power washing rant?
Sadly, not. I literally just changed the thing from PowerWash the game from PowerWash Simulator 2 to the first one to see if it, because like this game just came out, so it might not be in people's searches yet. I did the same thing when we first started doing Skate, and it worked out way better putting Skate 3 at the beginning than the new one, because no one has even like clicked on this yet. So I just now changed it just to see if that would help.
I'm glad you said that. I this morning, for some reason, I guess there wasn't any YouTube new to watch, is so it recommended all those videos that you told me about how bad people hate Skate. I didn't realize like how much people don't
Yeah,
like
people don't
Skate.
like it. People are
Mm,
not a fan. I
yeah,
mean,
and
I
I
thought
and
it was
I
pretty nice,
definitely
but
the videos I watched I really liked it because the guy really hated it, but he really explained his why he didn't like it
I
well, and he
understand
showed the
why
old
they
games.
dislike
Yeah.
it. But I mean, as someone who isn't a Skate diehard, didn't play the old ones, like I really like the new one.
Hmm.
It's kind of like
Well, and
how
not.
a lot of people liked Battlefield Hardline who weren't Battlefield diehards. It's like the same thing.
Mm, that's another thing I learned that was interesting. The company that was mostly made Battlefield Hardline wasn't DICE. I watched a video about Battlefields, and DICE has, aside from Battlefield 6, because Battlefield 6, they actually don't know. It was literally all of EA. It took fucking all of EA to make this game. I watched a video about it. So many companies, DICE didn't need help. The thing is, they didn't have like a multiplayer and stuff, because DICE was like, you know what, people are gonna want a really good multiplayer, so they put all their effort into that, but they didn't have a campaign. And then the head, like halfway through the game's life cycle, they got the head of a Call of Duty game. I can't remember. I think it was some really popular fucking Call of Duty game, but they got him in
I know who you're
to
talking
head
about,
the
but I can't think. It's not Jason Voorhees.
yeah.
I don't remember who it was.
But they got him to head the game, and he was like, we need 3 things when the game comes out. And so those 3 things were going to be the portal, and then campaign and multiplayer. Campaign and multiplayer were already, set in stone. But the thing is, they didn't really realize until the very end, oh shit, we didn't make a campaign. But because DICE did such a good job making the multiplayer so good, and I didn't know, like in the video I watched, it was also nice to know. I didn't know that Bad Company was renowned for its story.
Oh yeah,
I did not know that
that's
at
what I
all.
said. It's like one of the funniest campaigns I've ever played. It was so good.
Yeah, you said that just the other day. Yeah, with you,
So
I just
good.
never know because you think Adam Sandler's funny, so I have to take a lot of what you say with a grain of salt, man.
Bruh. But no, that campaign was amazing.
And it, like, that's my big thing. I kind of like to think of Battlefield 6 as like Bad Company 3, and you can't, especially when it comes to the campaign, because the campaign delivered in Bad Company 1 and 2.
Oh,
2
yeah, it was
wasn't
so good,
apparently
and they
as
had
good,
like,
they said.
yeah, it was slightly, but they're still
They said
good.
the multiplayer was better, but yeah, the campaign they said was much worse. So because
I
like
still
people
liked
really
it because
liked Bad Company 1.
yeah, yeah.
And I didn't know that because I don't
It was
play.
only worse
I
because of
played.
expectations from the first one.
The only campaigns I played were Black Ops 2, and then I went back and played Black Ops 1, and I don't understand much. They're kind of confusing, but they were good games, and I liked them.
Battlefield Hardline also had. I think that campaign got too much flack, more than it should have, but I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I didn't play the campaign.
I thought it wasn't bad. Being
I
police and
haven't
whatnot.
played any campaigns because when I play, I don't know. For me, I think I can play GTA story mode, but I'm so goofy because like I love multiplayer and I buy these games for multiplayer, and I want there to be a second thing like zombies or the portal, some other multiplayer type aspect for me to engage with.
Yeah.
But when it comes to FPS games, I'm not a I don't like I'm okay if there's a campaign, but I want it to be like full on Fallout style. Like if I'm gonna play
like you want it to be its own
campaign,
separate game.
Yeah, I want it to be its like own thing. I can't just but like the Black Ops 2 campaign meshed really well with the multiplayer and the zombies. If you like when I was a kid, I remember I was like, "Oh, this was in the campaign." It was like Leonardo. It's like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme. If you play the campaign, you can do that like while you're playing multiplayer and shit. You're like, "Oh, this is from the campaign," or "Oh, this is from the campaign."
Well, so
like
they like Call of Duty's done that since like literally like since they were made of just rip
exactly
multiplayer maps out of campaign or vice. I don't know which one they make first, but yeah, vice versa. They use the same multiplayer maps for campaign.
And I didn't know that because Black Ops 2 was my first one, and so to me I was like, oh yeah, I see it, I remember that, and now I know, yeah, that they reuse it because when you think about it, those huge campaign maps would be wasted space if you only used them for that mission.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the oh yeah, I'm so picky when it comes to the story aspect of games now. Like I'm not picky at all. Like when I wrote my review of Battlefield 6, I said I didn't play the campaign, but this game's worth it. Buy it. I think the Portal is more than enough to buy the game, probably right there.
Yeah.
But the multiplayer is what I'm into right now. And I talked about how good the game was and how they fixed, because I had at first I had a really high review. Then I lowered it when the game came out because it was kind of expensive, and there was some first day glitches. And I said I was being killed by invisible Sonics, but that kind of stopped. Now the invisible Sonics, I can see them. They're holding shotguns. the assault class, that's the thing. I was sitting here telling you how bad their assault rifles are. The one thing they have going for them, and the reason that nobody's complaining too bad for it to be fixed, is they have fucking shotguns, which are OP. Like, not OP. They're good for the assault class, but they're so good at close range. You don't even, and they're like real life shotguns, so they have a good amount of range. And so you've got to be careful. If there's assault players in the building, you need to keep your distance. And so what I do is lay down in a corner with some rubble with my LMG, and then when my team dies, I just go res everybody, and then the enemy team leaves, and they're like, wait, why is everybody alive?
Oh,
That's my favorite thing to do. You would know, playing Battlefield 1 and Hardline. Were you a medic more in 1 or Hardline? Probably Hardline.
Honestly, Hardline, I don't think I played
Yeah.
medic much. I liked the SMGs way too much in that game.
Man, in Hardline,
that was one of the few
battlefields,
because battlefields I usually don't like the gunfights. I don't like the long range. Like if they see you first, you're dead. Blah, blah, like that's the COD player and me not liking those. But yeah, I don't usually like the gunplay, but I really liked it in Hardline.
I always like the gunplay in Battlefield because what happens to me a lot is I get sniped, but they always get a hit marker. If they get a headshot,
I always get headshot immediately, no matter what.
Usually I'm running fast enough, but what I love is like I told you, I'm always running an LMG. So if a sniper wants to fuck with me, I can fuck with them. And I've been killed more especially if you include headshots. And it's probably about 50-50 on fights that I've picked. But when a sniper has shot me and like I hid behind a rock, 50% of the time that I've decided, okay, I'm gonna fuck with this guy, I've gotten the kill. And I like one of the guys was on a rooftop. I wish you could have seen the fucking kill. The guy was low health. Maybe we were on the rooftop and I couldn't see the allies, but he was low health, and I got a headshot with my LMG from so far away. I mean, it would have been an incredible sniper shot had it been with a sniper, but it didn't say how long distance it was because I was using an LMG. But you should have seen the distance, and I gasped when I killed the guy because I was just supposed to be screwing with him. I just wanted to hit marker him. I was more doing suppressive fire at that time because he had a good sight line over the objective we were trying to take from the objective he was on. Yeah. And so I just tried to poke him, and I ended up killing him, and I was like, holy shit. But he did shoot me first, so he picked the fight. But like I keep getting smoked on that one sniper map that you played in the beta. That the snipers on that map always kill me if they're using the recon.
Yeah,
outfit,
see, I couldn't. I know exactly what your map you're talking about, and that's what made me not like it. It's just like I can't sit there and just get sniped all day.
A few kills, but yeah, on that map especially, that's where most of the sniping takes place. There's another map though that has like a really, really good sniper nest, and there's always snipers there. It's some oil one that wasn't in the beta, but that one that you're talking about though, that map, my ratio on that map is like fucking. I've lost 80% of the fights I picked, which means 8 of the 10 I picked. Because those fights, the snipers have such good spots, but some of them, their heads are sticking out, and I feel like in Battlefield 6, your head it has like a really big hitbox. I feel like I get headshots a lot. In Call of Duty, it's not as nearly this easy for me to get headshots. I don't know if if the head is like just bigger in Battlefield
Probably bigger
or if the gun
multiplier.
kicks. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that could be too. It could just be a bigger multiplier that's getting me kills. When I get the headshot. Because a lot of times it is the kill that I get. But like the thing is, the headshot, when you get a headshot, you get a special hit marker. And I'm getting headshots very often. I can tell just because of the hit marker. You get a normal hit marker if you hit them, but if you get a headshot, you get like this double one, and it's a little smaller, but it's wider and it's louder. And if you get a headshot kill, you obviously get points that say headshot. And that's how I have to kill every sniper, because they're either laying down or you can just see their head. I love poking at them with my LMG, though. They always think they're shooting a guy with an SMG because everybody's running around with those. Like I said, they're broken right now. They're the just perfect gun to run around with, and I'm just using an LMG, so nobody expects me to turn around and be like, yeah, you want to go long range? I will fuck you up. I can fuck up the SMG players because my RPD puts out the damage, but the sniper players, I just love it because when I shoot at them, they always, most of the time, they just go hide and they never come out. They're just like, oh, fuck that guy. They know I've got an LMG and that I'm gonna fuck with them because they fucked with me. They've probably already shot me. That's the big thing. Those snipers know that they've really pissed people off in the lobby. So I might be somebody who they've killed a lot, and I might have respawned with an LMG just to fuck with them. And so you can scare some snipers away, but the bull snipers are always the ones that kill me, the ones that I can't scare or spook at all with my hit markers, because my RPD hits like a truck, and so they should usually be pretty scared just after the first bullet, let alone the second. The second one, that's like half your health. Yeah, I mean, then you're already really low, and so you don't want to get hit anymore after that. But the bull snipers, they can always get their second, bolt through and kill me before I can kill them. Because I only know they exist once they've shot me.
I'm now power washing an entire house.
You're going to be power washing more than that. You signed up for it. You took the job, man.
Yeah, but now I'm on a house.
Just wait until you get to the spaceship.
Oh, I'm sure.
I can't wait.
The final level in the last one, yeah. The final level in the last one was whatchamacallit, is a temple. It's like you cleaned a spaceship and then a temple and crap. The temple took so that thing was so huge. I remember doing that. Like, took so long.
I remember the guy said that in the video, and I remember thinking personally it looked like a somewhat easy level, but
it literally took hours.
And I really liked. I didn't know that they had that. Like how it shows you kind of washing it when you're done. It shows like you quickly doing
the time
it in like
lapse.
10
yeah.
seconds.
Oh, I love the time lapses.
That's really cool. Yeah. I thought that was a really satisfying. They did a good job with that game.
Oh yeah. Who would have thought they could make a best-selling game out of power washing?
I know. Yeah, I would buy it, but it's just too much money for a game that I can watch.
Oh yeah, if I had to pay for it, I wouldn't. Yeah, if I had to pay for it, I probably wouldn't get it.
But I hate saying that because the game's so well made, it deserves my money more than, like Battlefield 6, as much as I like it, what I really like is the guy that I watched, the guy that said don't pre-order the game, he keeps saying, like, guys, remember, this ought to be the standard. Like, as much as I love Battlefield 6, this is what should be standard. It's not, like, groundbreaking. It didn't do anything new. It's just a good fucking game, and we haven't had a good fucking game in a decade. I mean, since Black Ops 3 is what some people say, since Black Ops 2 in my mind, or maybe Hardline. But even Hardline wasn't, like, this is a much better first-person shooter. I like the gunplay. I like a lot of stuff about Battlefield 6. Because in Hardline in Battlefield 1, I remember, like, aspects. In Battlefield 1, I remember the guns very well. And in Battlefield Hardline, I remember being a medic very well. And I remember the vehicles well. And in Battlefield 1, I remember the vehicles killing the shit out of me. But I don't remember using them. And I remember my gun and how it, you know, it was so different. I remember the theme of Battlefield 1 a lot. With Battlefield 6, though, I like how I like the gunfights. I like being in a tank. Everything's fun, and it's easy to do except the jet stuff. That stuff looks crazy. But that's always been kind of not up my alley. That's always been like, I'm just going to let the dogfighters do that shit. But that wraps back around to the very first thing I said before you even started the stream. All those people that are looking for teammates, they're looking for one, and it says we need a heli pilot or we need a jet fighter. And it's just like, well, fuck you guys. I bet you want a pilot. Everybody, if you have a good pilot, it can change the game. And the biggest problem is once you get a good pilot, then you'll just be in one of those games where everyone thinks the helicopter's a taxi, and so the pilot can't use the fucking plane.
Man, I think it'd be a good YouTube video to sit there and go through the looking for group posts and just say you're a good heli pilot, and then just keep joining them and messing with them. See how mad you can make them.
Oh man, dude, they would get so
See how long you can stay before they eventually kick you.
And then people would just be mad in the stream, like, you're hurting this game. And it's like, no, I'm trolling. The game needs some healthy trolling to be fun. And man, has that happened to me in fucking... I guess it's less trolling, but the thing is, a lot of the maps are small because they wanted to attract COD players. And so if there's one engineer on the enemy team and they put down all 3 of their landmines, basically the whole map you can't drive a car through. And so I've gotten in a car. I learned my lesson very quickly when I started playing. But when I started playing, I'd get in a car and I'd be like, okay, let's take it to the battle, and you would just die really quickly. And I learned that there's like most of the maps if you're already in a tank in the middle of the map, you're good. But if you're in a car or another tank and it's at spawn, just don't fuck it. I mean, just leg it. You're going to hit a mine that you can't see. But if you're an engineer and you're in the tank, I believe that the anti-tank mines light up, so you just need a guy running the machine gun. But then the thing is, you need a guy running the machine gun who's also not just trying to get kills, who's looking at the road. And I don't know if that's only engineers, but I haven't seen it all the time. And usually when I'm in a tank gun, I'm playing as an engineer, because then I'm like, okay, I'm going to be an engineer because there's this tank going around just fucking everybody up, and I want to be in it. I want to either help out or... Because the planes are good, and I'm sure that a good pilot can win the match, but in my opinion, it's the tanks that really make the difference. Yeah. But in some of the maps, the tanks are unusable because of those landmines. The main one is the one I keep seeing in this little, like, thing I'm seeing. This is the start now. The Siege of Cairo map is so fucking small, but the thing is, in some of the maps, there's a road, so you can see landmines in it. Siege of Cairo is rubble, and so it's a tiny map with a bunch of rubble, and you can't see landmines at all. And even if they're lit up, they might be behind a rock. You can't even shoot them, and so you just can't. You can't ride like even an ATV around. Just an ATV will get blown up. But especially tanks and tanks. I don't know. The anti-tank mine, I think somebody said they're a little overpowered, and I feel like they deal a little too much damage, because oh yeah, that's the big thing. There's a glitch right now. You're not supposed to be able to place so many in one spot, but if you like, what you can do is place one and then just without moving spin around and then press RT to place another one, and then right as you start the animations, if you spin quick enough, you'll place the landmines on top of each other. And so when you go around, you just drive over these insta-death things from full health. There's no healing the tank. It just blows up. But yeah, that's the problem with the Siege of Cairo map. And then there's other maps, like there's the map that I know people complain about not being able to use tanks on, but I really like the map because there's a sniper's nest, but it's really invadable, and it's really funny watching the snipers fight the players in the lobby. It's a really fun map. At first, I didn't like it because it's small. It's a COD map, kind of, but it has a lot of height to it, at least. But I don't think that map is well liked, and you can't drive around in a tank in that one. I feel like the people that get one spawn, they can ride around in the tanks because they have more roads to choose from. But on one side, you kind of get like just 2 roads to choose from, and one of them goes right into an objective. And so you're going to run over a tank mine anyway there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that map's fun. You would love that map actually, because that map, man, if you could play that map and on that fucking the bloody hell that is that, I don't even know what the objective is, but it's under a bridge, and it's just it is a mosh pit down there. And if you're a medic with one smoke grenade, oh my goodness, you can you can get the like so many field surgeon dog tags, which is rezzing just 5 people in one life.
Oh, do they have in that game? Because this could totally convince me to buy it. To be honest, do they have the game mode like they had in Battlefield Hardline, where it was like domination, but the points you had to capture were vehicles that you drive around the map?
No, I
Oh, because
don't.
that is the
Wait,
best game mode ever.
I I I remember a guy complaining
Sitting
about that. I don't think they have that. No, that I'm sure that game mode is not here.
sitting in a roof somewhere on the one map on Hardline that was just like it was like oil things in the middle and then the one big highway around it, just sitting somewhere on that highway waiting for one of the enemies to go by with an RPG. Oh, that was peak gaming. That was so much fun. Oh. Alright, so that's a point against me buying it without that game mode.
It's so weird to hear
Can't
you
lie.
say that, because that I think that's part of the reason Battlefield, like, critics didn't like Battlefield Hardline. The video I watched a bunch of videos trying to understand more about Battlefield, because I don't know much about Battlefield, from the little I've played, aside from like Hardline and Battlefield 1, which were huge games that everyone knows about because everyone played those games. But aside from those games, I was watching videos, and I learned a lot more about Hardline, and that's actually one of the modes that fucking Battlefield players hated, because
Such
it
a good
resulted.
mode.
What Battlefield players hated is that people would just drive in circles in those vehicles, like you said. But what I think is funny is you liked that. You just waited in the circle.
Yeah, I
And they
like that.
drove
You just
around
wait
the
for them to go by, and then it's an easy free kill. If you have
yeah.
RPG, then I just liked having a sniper ready to like try to snipe them. Even if I failed, it was fun.
Mm.
Cause
Yeah, and that goes to
and then
show
you
why
do that
we
game
liked
of,
Hardline and Battlefield critics didn't.
especially the other map where it was like the mansion in the middle, and then like the sandy islands that go around it that they drive the car around, and you could literally just sit there at the mansion top just trying to snipe the cars the whole game. It's like I'll hit 1 out of every 10 shots, but it was still fun to sit there and try to snipe them.
Hmm. Yeah, and I feel a little bad also for people that were looking for a campaign, because after watching the videos, I didn't realize how good Battlefield campaigns were. Because, like, COD
They were
campaigns
so
have
good.
not been good for a very long time, and so I'm just used to a not good campaign. But yeah, Battlefield, I can't remember. Oh, yeah, it was basically until Battlefield 1. The stories have been really, really good. And then,
Yeah.
surprise, surprise, Battlefield took the side. Some people still like the game, but it sounded like a bunch of crap from what I've heard. It's even
I
aside from the, it did get a lot of
I
unfair hate
basically didn't even
from.
remember Battlefield 5 existed, so.
I know, yeah, that's the thing. I kind of forgot it existed too. Because I remember
You could
I
have
was like,
convinced
which
me
one
that
was?
Battlefield 1 was technically what they're calling 5, and that's why they're now calling this one 6. You could have convinced me of that.
Yeah, Battlefield 1, they called that because there was never a Battlefield 1. That's why
Yeah.
they released yeah, I can't remember what the first game was, and the second game was Battlefield Vietnam, and that game looked cool. If you liked really old computer games. It didn't look like something I wanted to play, but it looked like a game one of those. I like watching those videos about how computer gaming has evolved, and I was just like, oh, that looks like an advanced computer game, and but lo and behold, it was. People liked it. It had that feature though that a lot of other army simulators have that I don't like. That game had in the multiplayer that commander feature where one player in the
Oh
the
yeah,
huge team, as a commander,
like
they can
Hell Let
order
Loose
airstrikes and
does.
stuff. Yeah,
I will
I would
say the
not like
people who
anything
really
like
like
that.
that, I see why they like Hell Let Loose and why I don't like it, because I don't like it to be that realistic. But it's like then you have like I know Christopher really liked it because you could be like the sergeant or the commander or whatnot and like lead your platoon and tell them what to do, but you like had to be a specific rank of playing the game so long to even unlock that ability and
Oh,
whatnot.
that's smart.
Whatnot.
I can't
It was
believe that
cool, but it was
Christopher
something I
likes
could
that
never get
game.
into.
Yeah, I wish I could understand Christopher's psyche
I mean,
better.
no,
That
I
that
know a
game
lot
to
of
me is
people who really
so.
like the game, but it's just not my type of game.
Man, I hate that game, and I only know people that say what me and you say. Either like, oh, it was a little too hardcore for me, or they're like me, they just really did not like
Well, the
it.
same type of people who like it are the same type of people who like hardcore mode in Call of Duty, so which I don't
There you
like.
go. But I liked hardcore mode. That's different. Me and Kevin love that.
I don't know how any psycho could like that game mode. Unless you're going for diamonds on pistols, I don't understand how any psycho could like that.
Dude, you should have seen me snipe people with the Remington.
Exactly. That's why I can't. I don't want to sit there and get shot by a shotgun through 3 walls in the toe and die. Like I
I
can't stand
remember
it.
I used that sight too, where you could aim through walls. That was
Gosh,
in hardcore. That was just OP.
that crap was awful. You're the reason I hate hardcore is people like you. Oh, a new job is available? You're telling me I could quit in the middle of cleaning this house and go to a new job? Well, what is it? It's a dog car? Dogs can't drive. They don't need that washed yet. I'll finish this house. Ooh. Da-da-da-da. Almost gotten the outside flooring of this house done. I should have started at the top and worked my way down. It would have been way more satisfying.
Oh well.
I'll get this flooring done and then go to the tippy top. And boom. Nope. Boom. Nope. Okay. Flooring, why are you not done? There we go. Alright, now we go to the top. Or do I watch the first holo? No, I don't. Oh, I get a scissor lift in this game? Really upgrade. Oh my gosh, there's so much more to this than what I thought. Oh my gosh. Oh, come on.
Oh, your goodness gravy.
Goodness gravy. Eek. Oh, I made it. This is an awful house. Who would live here?
Gravy.
This is a stupid looking house.
Hey,
So I don't understand art. It's an art decor house. Who the frick would live in this?
Can't believe you don't like Art Deco.
I don't.
Come on.
I've never understood art, and I never will understand art. Speaking of which, you see the Louvre robberies?
No, or the recent. Oh
Yeah,
wait, no,
like
I think
not even a
I
week
think I
ago,
did. Yeah,
a couple
I think
days
I
ago.
did see that on the news. Yeah, I think I
They
remember
just pulled a
seeing that.
crane up to the side of it and just took stuff out the window, which I think is in broad daylight while people are watching them do it. It's just so funny to
I
me.
only remember that because I was talking to my mom because we saw something on the local news right after that, and it was kind of a big deal. It was like a car accident, some people died, and like that's something that they could talk about on national news, but they clearly had something better to talk about, the Louvre robberies.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about, I told my mom the only reason I remember that is I was saying I wonder how big of a deal that is in France right
Oh, it's a
now.
very big deal.
Yeah, I was thinking if you lived in France, that I mean, that would like, what if they said, you know, like what if they said the fucking what's the thing that Nicolas Cage stole? What if they said the
Declaration of
yeah,
Independence.
the Declaration? What if they said the Declaration of Independence? Well, you know, that would be a big deal here.
Yeah, which is just kind of, I don't know. It's insane how they are able to pull it off. Definitely sitting in some wealthy collector's home right now, just chilling the stuff that they stole. Just wild to me. I don't understand it. It's like if you own, like obviously whoever stole it, like you can't sell that. Like whatever they're doing, that you can't sell it. It's like you're
Mm-hmm.
literally just doing it like it's some private collector that wants it. And it's
Yep,
like you're not
exactly.
even going to be able to tell anybody that you have this, other than
Mm-hmm.
very select people. So like, what? What's the
That's
point?
what I thought was so weird. I watched a video about the people. They didn't steal the Mona Lisa, but they somehow made like really good replicas, and they were selling them because what they did is they capitalized off the whole the Mona Lisa, you know, isn't a real thing, and so these people somehow convinced a bunch of rich people that they had the real one. But that's what I thought was so weird. I was like, well, this group of rich people is, you know, they're like all criminals, you know, because like you said, if some rich guy saw the Mona Lisa in somebody's house, they'd be like, hey, the Louvre, this is your Mona Lisa. It's not there. You know, you should look.
Mm.
But like, so I was like, there's this whole ring of rich black people or
Okay, say.
black market people. There's
All
this
right, a little
whole ring of
Freudian
really rich
slip. That's
black
cool.
market people. Yeah, I can't believe there's this whole ring of rich black market people because like only the other people in this black market could come to your house and like enjoy that art. So unless it's some art dealer that really gets off on just sitting there looking at the real piece, which is weird. I mean, just go to a museum then. You're really gonna get off there. There's a lot of real pieces, but like I just don't understand. I don't understand the black market thing.
People like things. I did see a pretty good meme that was it was just someone like posing as the Mona Lisa, and they're just like the title is just something stupid like the Mona Lisa, the Mona Lisa standing there realizing it's not the one getting stolen for once. It's like he was like acting as like Mona Lisa, but like in a jealous way.
Well,
It's pretty funny.
it's even funnier because that is technically at the Louvre. Supposedly the real one is at the Louvre, and they say they've recovered it. But it sounds, if you watch the whole story, it really doesn't sound like there. It sounds like there's like a 50-50 chance they have the real one.
I don't understand why like stuff like the Mona Lisa, like why that is so like it's a picture of a woman. Why are we
Yeah,
so
I get.
like caught up in how awesome that is? I don't
To
understand.
me, it's more who it didn't.
What?
I've got to look this up and.
What are you trying to look up?
How old it is.
Oh, old.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's my thing. You know, it's not only is it old, but it's also made by like Leonardo da Vinci. We've got a lot of like this is gonna, you know, anybody in the art world would fucking have a heart attack. But we've got a lot of like all of Picasso and a lot of all these guys.
See,
Leonardo da Vinci made this one thing.
that's the thing is he made so much more cooler things and whatnot.
I
Like
know that,
he had so
dude,
much
that
cool
notebook,
inventions,
the
and
notebook that isn't
absolutely
even
no one,
decrypted yet.
no one cares about any of that crap. But we care about this one painting. Like, why can we not care more about this stuff that's actually cool, like his actual inventions, not just a painting? Who the frick
Yeah,
cares?
I can't
Care about the
believe
inventor
it.
side, not the art side. Like, come on, this stuff is way cooler.
Dude, you should have learned. You think he's underappreciated? You know, fucking Mendeleev is. What's his name? Something Mendeleev.
Not off the top of my head.
I gotta look up his name. He's Dmitry Mendeleev. He is literally the fucking inventor of the periodic table, and you would not believe this guy was so fucking smart. The all the chemicals in the periodic table, it wasn't filled out. They didn't even have a periodic table. He not only made the periodic table, but he guessed how, like, you know, the noble gases, how they're in a line. Do you know that?
Yeah.
And do you know? Yeah, they're in a line on the right side of the periodic table. And do you know why they're called that? Because they're inert. They don't interact with other things very well.
I thought it was because they were descendants of kings, and that's why they're noble. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure you know why. But like this guy predicted, he only had seen so many chemicals because back when he lived, you couldn't get a pure thing like uncontaminated chemical or element was very hard. It was very hard to get an element that didn't have other substances in it and make it just purely that element. And when he did this, he was able to predict a whole bunch of shit, and he made a periodic table, and he wrote in all the numbers, and he only put in like 7 elements, but he made most of the periodic table, and he predicted how so many elements would interact, and he was right. He didn't even have these elements that didn't even exist. We had to make some of them, but he knew what they would be like because of how well he knew chemistry. And I couldn't believe that. And nobody knows who that guy is. And he, like, what he did was insanely smart. He was like Leonardo da Vinci smart, you know? And those are the people that were super smart. I would talk about Thomas Edison in school, who basically just ripped off Nikola Tesla.
Yeah, Thomas Edison gets too much credit.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the nuclear bomb stuff. He should get more credit for that. Once again, he should get more credit for the atomic bomb, for the atomic bomb crap than he does the light bulb. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's talk more about the Manhattan Project instead of electricity.
And I'm not saying at all that Stephen Hawking wasn't smart, but like out of all these
Stephen Hawking does not deserve the credit he gets, even in the slightest.
And that's the thing, like the Hawking radiation, do black holes matter? No, they won't matter while all of us are alive.
Literally,
I guess if
all of his stuff is literally
eventually.
Just all theoretical. He gets so much credit for being smart on all crap that you can literally make up and say whatever you want about.
Well, and that's the thing. Later, we might look back, and he might be right about a lot of the gravity garbage and stuff.
Yeah.
The thing is,
but he could also be 100% wrong.
Yeah, and not only that, but black holes might not even fucking exist. They don't.
Exactly.
They know that there's a thing there, and it's doing weird shit. But I don't think it doesn't make sense with anything. It just doesn't. It's so fucking dumb to me. Light speed and all this shit. If you think about this, black holes don't make sense. And if you go faster than light speed, you could time travel. I just don't. I don't know how much of any of this bullshit I believe. It's very hard for like I'm not a flat earther or anything, but it's almost hard for me to believe light has a speed. Light is just there. When you turn on a flashlight, it's just there. It doesn't have a speed. Because if light has a speed, then you could go so fast away from the Earth that you could see the Earth before the humans were there, but then you could go back so fast that you got back before you left, which doesn't make sense. And paradoxes don't happen in real life. That's why they're paradoxes.
Oh. Jump. But yeah, Stephen Hawking gets too much credit for being so smart when all of his stuff is theoretical. Yeah, he's a good physicist and whatnot, but like so is like anyone in that profession. Like,
well, that's exactly the credit I think he should get. It's just being a good physicist. We should talk about people like Dmitry Mendeleev and like the contributions Thomas Edison made to the fucking Manhattan Project, not his light bulbs.
It's like he didn't like invent the light bulb, but he like made it where it's possible for everyone. But like, it's like I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I don't like it when people say what I said. He ripped off Nikola Tesla because he did actually do something.
Yeah,
I
he made it where it's feasible for like the average person to have it, but like,
yeah, Nikola Tesla made it so only like his house could happen. Yeah, I can't remember. I watched a video that explained, why people say that, because I didn't know why people said that, and I still don't. But
he changed like whatever like. It was like whatever in that time was like used as like I think the conductor is what he changed about it or something like that. I don't remember exactly. I could be fully wrong about that.
In my thing though is it just goes back to what we were saying. All these people that are supposed to be smart, they weren't that smart, and then we don't talk about people like Dmitry Mendeleev who like predicted all the elements accidentally. I mean, he was accidentally a genius.
Well, there's like
but
one,
I guess
there's
that's
like a,
the other thing, though.
I think it was
during his time, people could have said, "Well, this is all theoretical."
Well, it's like there's like a Tibetan monk, is what I think it was, who discovered or like who really figured out a bunch of stuff about the whatchamacallit, like cells and whatnot. If I could be completely misremembering that, but it's something with biology. I'm pretty sure it was like cells and whatnot, and how we're made up of cells and whatnot. And it's like I don't know. I feel like he gets like the just amount of credit he deserves for what he did. Like he's the exception of like, he did what he did, and he got like the the perfect amount of credit for it. Like not too much, not too little.
Perfect amount of credit.
And I'm pretty sure it was like figuring out that we're made up of cells and whatnot. If I think he was that guy, but I could be wrong about that. There's some Tibetan monk who did something in biology, and I'm pretty sure it's that. But it's been a long time since I've studied that.
You know biology, so you know who Van Leeuwenhoek is, right?
Not off the top of my head.
He's the guy who invented the microscope.
Oh. Yeah, see,
Dude,
once again, microbiology stuff I don't care about whatsoever.
I'm surprised they didn't just say that, or like on.
I mean, they probably did, but
what scares me so much about this poor guy, this guy invented. So he was like a lenser, a guy that made glasses. So he understood how glass worked. And he kept making these things that could zoom in and in more and more and more because he wanted to see what would happen. And then he found, this is my big thing, his discovery, he went out running into the streets telling people there were monsters in the water, little monsters. Because he knew he could see with, he made a microscope that he believed. He knew it was glass, he knew it wasn't like some fake stuff. But when people came in, even if they saw the evidence with their own eyes, they didn't believe it. They're like, this can't be water, who knows what you put into this thing. And I just feel so bad for this guy because he went nuts and he died. And he never was vindicated until after he died. And I feel bad for the guy because imagine if you really microscopes are such a normal thing now. They're used in so many, not just biology, but they're super important in healthcare and all sorts of fields. Without microscopes, we couldn't do anything. And it just being this guy, imagine being the first guy to see the shit in the water. I mean, I just feel so bad for that guy because I would have lost.
You saw the first sea bear, and everyone loses their minds.
Yeah, he saw cells in the water, and I mean, man, I would have lost my mind. And back then, the water was nasty, too, so he probably saw a lot of shit in it.
I got to see a sea bear in college in one of the samples we took through microscope. It was lit. Sea bears are lit.
I know kind of what an amoeba looks like because I looked up amoebas, and then the only thing I remember in school, we looked at seawater or like water from a river
Yeah.
under a microscope, and I saw a bunch of stuff moving around, but I didn't know what it was. I just saw stuff. But like what it really irritated me is like the teacher was sitting at one of the things. She was helping all the students, but like she saw this thing and she called it I cyclops, I believe. I don't, but you wouldn't know because you're not a microbiologist. But I thought, I'm pretty sure she called it a cyclops, and it was supposedly like running across the petri dish, and so she had all the students come over and look, and you just saw this thing moving, and I remember thinking it looked like all the other shit. Everything looked the same. You
I
could
remember
tell
when we
some
were
things
looking at
apart.
stuff like, I don't know, I guess because I knew more about it, like things were, you could tell what things
Yeah,
were.
I
At
couldn't.
least I could, but yeah. Like I said, finding a tardigrade was cool as can be. If we get
Yeah,
lucky and someone,
when I looked at
someone
stuff,
in our
it didn't
class
look
found
cool.
one in one of their river samples, and it's like, everyone come look! Mayday, Mayday, DEFCON 5! Which it was cool, so, I mean, fair.
It's so weird.
Oh.
I always remember that in school and just being like the dumbest thing that happened. Like the dumbest like freak out of a classroom that halted production of whatever we were doing. Because we all went over and looked through this microscope, and most of the people in the class probably don't even remember that. The only reason I do is because she said Cyclops, and I remember thinking, why do they call this stupid little like circle dot a Cyclops?
Did it, like,
And
look
I
like
don't
an
know if it
eye?
was no, I just looked. It looked like an amoeba to me. It looked just like some weird little circle that moved.
Maybe it was
I guess if
circular
I
and whatnot, that
if
was
you put
probably
a gun to
why.
my head and forced me to describe what I think I remember seeing, I thought I remember seeing something that kind of looked. It resembled one of the like ghosts in Pac-Man. But like the legs of it were it only had like two, the front one and the back one, and they weren't legs. It was like a floating ghost, but like
Flagello?
the bottom was like moving. Yeah, and like it didn't have legs because it was like it moved like a worm,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, so it's
But
probably
that's
like flagella or something like that, which is like
yeah, the
a
bottom was
single-celled
just
organism's
doing something.
legs. Yeah.
Yeah, and that it was a single-celled organism. That's
Yeah.
if I do know that because all the things we were looking at were single-celled organisms, and I remember in some of them you could see like the nucleus and stuff. You could actually make out parts of the cell. And then I remember, very well when you've looked at all that stuff, and then you looked at an onion, and it looked like a brick wall. It was totally different than everything else. And so I know plant cells are different than normal cells.
They are indeed quite different.
You never watched Blade Runner, right?
No.
Man, I wish you did. It's so much more funny to talk about cells if you watch that movie. Wish somebody was watching the chat because I bet they'd agree.
Yeah,
That
I'm a
movie was so
single
good.
person has clicked on the stream. I probably started it way too late for anyone to click on it.
Yeah, you did get on a little later than usual. Oh yeah, this is usually you'd be going to bed, but you took
Yeah,
that nap.
yeah.
So
Like
this
I
is
said, I
nice. You get to stay up and
fell
play
asleep.
Conquest.
Yeah, and I gotta be at church at like 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. anyways, so it's like I'm not going to sleep now.
Wait, why do you have to go to church? Do you doing you
We
getting
have
ready for
a
Sunday or?
food pantry. Help out. We unloaded on Friday, and then we'll give it out Saturday. So we unload tomorrow morning all the stuff.
Yeah, my church did a lot of things, and I was always surprised how much stuff they did. And they had like a fridge, and I think you were just allowed to take drinks from it, but I never wanted to do that. I only really felt okay grabbing like water and coffee because my big thing is pop. Like it's so damn expensive, and kids like to drink it, and like I know because I used to drink Coke a lot, and I go to the store, and what really drives me nuts, fucking beer is cheaper than a lot of pop.
Hope
You can
that's
buy
not in your
a
church's
huge
fridge.
pack of beer. My thing is the problem with the store. Well, in my church, they only had three, they had like Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew, and like some other thing. You know, the fridge wasn't stocked with pop.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had they
I mean,
just
our
had
church is the
three.
same way. We have a couple things in there and whatnot, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can
Well,
just
and I
grab
just
whenever.
like they said I was free to have them though, and I always felt that. So I was like, I don't think I should. You know, this isn't worth the money, especially if another person wants this. Because I like a fizzy drink now and again, but and pop is just stupid expensive, and I don't know if they bought the cheapest pop or like pop that kids like. I don't know what they
Our
did.
church definitely buys cheaper pop usually.
Mm. Yeah, because like I
I mean,
think
it
my church
depends.
did have Dr. Pepper. It wasn't,
But
like
we'll also
a
have like
Mr.
stuff like
Pepper
if
in
we have like a meal or something and like anything left over, like either like people will take home or whatever's left will just sit in the fridge till whoever wants it, kind of thing.
I didn't know this. There was an old lady at my church, and she's known for the cakes she bakes. And so
Oh,
they,
everyone has an
a
old lady like
person,
that. You love that lady.
yeah, every church probably has one. Yeah, and in my church, a little girl who likes snakes. It was her birthday, and so she made a snake cake, and everyone was talking about how cool it looked. And I remember eating some. I didn't really see the cake before because by the time I was able to get out of like the congregation thing, the snake was like decapitated. I mean, the poor thing had been eaten,
Yeah.
but supposedly it really looked like a snake, and she did a good job by you from what I could tell when I went out there. I was the cake was very decorative. It was like a
Hmm.
big spindly thing, but I had some, and I just remember thinking that was funny. And she'd apparently had done that for more than just the little girl.
Yeah.
But that was her thing, when somebody had a birthday, she made a cake, and it was usually big enough to feed it. But the church congregation wasn't very large,
Yeah.
so you could feed everybody with not maybe a normal size cake. You'd probably need
But
two.
but not like a huge one.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, two cakes could probably if two cakes would feed everybody because everyone would only take one piece. But if you made like two and a half, that would be more than enough to feed everybody to the max. Like
Yeah.
that would be too much.
Mhm.
But then the kids could have their fill.
Yeah.
And there's people who sometimes want more, but I never want to eat like cake and stuff. I'm never a big fan of that. I did love the fish fry. I love going out like and eating the food, but I don't want to eat any cakes and stuff.
Yeah. I
I've
know.
had so many cakes that I'm just
Usually,
like, oh, it's cake. And
I like
I don't dislike
specific
cake at all.
dirts, but I like cake, but
Did you
like
just say
I'm not
you
just
like
gonna
specific dirts?
no desserts.
Oh,
That like I
desserts.
will eat the crap out of if they're like dirt pudding. Speaking of dirt pudding, that stuff is the
Yo.
best thing ever. Best thing on God's green earth is dirt pudding. So freaking good. But like that I'll eat a million things. But like just a regular cake that like I've seen a million times, like I'm not gonna care to grab a slice.
Mm. Well, my thing is, I get my big thing is when me and my mom make cakes. Most people would think this is like sacrilegious, but we don't frost most of our cakes
Oh,
like
see, now
ever.
that's
We
awful.
just
That's
yeah.
awful.
See,
It's
but the thing is,
borderline
frosting
psychotic
gives me
behavior.
horrible heartburn,
I don't care.
and
It's
it
worth
also
it.
gives my
That's
mom heartburn.
that. I don't. It would be worth it. I don't get heartburn from it, but if I did, it would be worth it. That's borderline psychotic behavior.
And my mom
It's like
would,
saying you
I
like
think.
muffins more than cupcakes. Like no one does.
I like muffins more
No,
than
you
cupcakes.
don't.
There's way more flavors.
No, you don't.
You've never had an apple cinnamon muffin, dude. That's the best shit
I don't
ever.
care. But would you have an apple? But would you rather have? Okay, I shouldn't ask this to you because you eat frosting. Like, but a normal person would always take a frosted muffin. Like, no,
No,
it's
I did, and
borderline
that's my thing. I hate
psychotic
frosting.
behavior.
Frosting is nasty.
So I
That's
said a
why I
normal
don't like
person.
cake. But like when me and my mom make cake, we don't frost it. But the big thing is my mom would. But if frosting, when you go to put it on, a lot of times it's just hell to put on, and so we just don't waste our time putting it on. I just want nice cake that's cooked right.
Well,
But frosting gives me bad heartburn anyway, so I prefer it without frosting.
see, I don't have to worry about that because my mom will make cakes and she like home makes everything, including the frosting, and like
And you just never get
like
heartburn.
she's she's not from that, no. But I used to
You
get
just don't even
heartburn.
know what heartburn is.
No, I used to get heartburn a lot as a kid, but I really don't get it anymore at all now. To be honest, as a kid, I would get it like all the time. I feel like, but like now, I don't at all. To be
My
honest,
parents had
I
acid
couldn't
reflux,
tell
and I have
you.
acid reflux.
Yeah, like I said, I couldn't tell you the last time I had that, like, the burning sensation in your throat and whatnot. I couldn't, like, I had it all the time as a kid, but I don't, like, have it
Just
anymore at
thinking
all.
about it and talking about it makes my chest hurt. I can feel it like starting at the bottom of my esophagus.
Yeah, I don't really get that anymore, thankfully. I had it all the time as a kid, but not really much
Yeah,
anymore.
I did too, and I learned I need to take a medication and not ever eat like dark chocolate or frosting or
Well, I don't ever eat
there's
dark
still
chocolate
things I
solely
can't
because
eat.
it's awful.
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of dark. I don't know. I like chocolate to have a like the right darkness to it. I don't like milk chocolate,
See, I love milk
but I
chocolate.
don't like dark chocolate either.
Dark chocolate
But
is the
dark
worst
chocolate, the
tasting
darker
thing
it is,
ever.
the more heartburn I get. The thing is, though, like white chocolate also gives me horrific heartburn. That like
White chocolate
super
just
sugary
doesn't taste
shit.
good.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. And but the thing is, like white chocolate, you've got to know this since you've had real chocolate and white chocolate. How fake and plasticky white chocolate
Like I
tastes.
said, it just doesn't
All the
taste good to
shit.
me whatsoever.
Well, and like it tastes like fucking plastic. I can't believe it doesn't taste like fucking It's like it tastes like
I
chemicals
mean,
to
it's been
me.
so long
It
since I've
doesn't.
had any that I just remember that it just tastes awful.
It tastes like
No, it is.
what it tastes like to me is you put a spoonful of sugar in your mouth there's some shit like
Uh,
literal poop.
Apparently, you've never had a pixie stick, and those are amazing.
No, I don't like pixie sticks. I fucking hate that shit.
Listen, getting a pixie stick as a child was like, oh, that was better than Christmas morning.
I did not like pixie sticks.
Oh.
Pixie sticks were a really sad version of popping rocks or pop rocks.
Pop rocks I never liked. I never cared for
I
those.
I can't believe you didn't like Pop Rocks. I
It was
love
like,
Pop
I
Rocks.
don't know, these seems too gimmicky even for me as a child.
Man, I loved Pop Rocks. I didn't like it though because they got big, and then after they got big, most of the Pop Rocks didn't really pop, and so I didn't get them anymore. But I still love good Pop Rocks.
They were never
Yeah,
mellow.
I
Okay.
don't know. That wouldn't.
Now I know a lot of people didn't like this, but I really liked Fun Dip. I still like Fun Dip.
Oh my goodness, my cousins fucking loved that shit. When they were really young, Fun Dip was their favorite thing. But I think it's because, Granny, that's the old. You know how when you were really young, you like. I'm sure your parents didn't let you. You know candy that has like gooey shit that you can like pour on the sucker or the like baby bottle pops. How they have like goopy stuff sometimes.
I love Baby Bottle Pops as a kid.
Granny would never let me and my cousins get stuff that was really messy. Any pixie sticks probably would have been too messy for her. But like the messiest thing my cousins like candy wise could get that my grandmother always allowed was Fun Dip, and Fun Dip was older. I mean, so she knew what it was. It was like a really old candy where you lick the stick and dip it in the
Yeah.
stupid stuff. But
I,
I remember
I'd
that.
sit there and like eat on the same pack of Fun Dip, the same tiny pack of Fun Dip for like 2 hours, just slowly eating it with the stick. It's great.
What I would do with my cousins is I would just open mine and take the stick out and then just eat the stick. Well, like I didn't chew it, I sucked on it, and then I would
Yeah.
just give one of my cousins the package of sugar shit. Because I just kind of liked the stick, but then I realized later I could give my cousins the whole thing for a little more. Maybe I could get like a microcar or some stupid little toy in return. And so I quickly just started giving away all the
Quickly
candy I
became
got.
the
Like
barter.
Easter, yeah, Easter was a great holiday for me because I would just go and collect this bunch of eggs and then give them all to Kevin for any toys he got. And then Kevin would be sad the next day, and they would force me to give some of Kevin's toys back because I'd always trade like all of my candy for Kevin's toys. And then Kevin would be sad that he didn't have any toys. And Kevin learned pretty quick that he needed to get toys, But Kevin, when he was younger, he just wanted like the pop at McDonald's or the toy. That was the big thing, was the toy.
Yeah, McDonald's toys don't hit hard like they used to. Like when you'd walk in and you'd see the little display case saying like, "Oh, these are the
Oh
boys' toys,
yeah,
these are the girls'
and you
toys,
had
and
to
whatnot."
collect them
There,
all.
you had to collect them all. Like, man, they don't hit anywhere near as hard as they used to. I'd hate to be a
Yeah,
kid
I
getting
remember
Happy
after
Meals in
Kung
this
Fu Panda,
economy.
man, you had to get those toys. Those were so cool.
Transformers, all the good stuff. I never liked Transformers. I wanted them, but like I love the McDonald's toys. And they were actual little Transformers. You got that with a Happy Meal. You'd never get something that sophisticated today.
Yeah, yeah, I am surprised now that I think about how sophisticated some of those toys were. But man, when I was little,
I'd
I
hate to
didn't
get a
like
Happy
any of
Meal
that
in this
stuff, but I liked
economy.
food. But I'd hate to get a Happy Meal in this economy.
Oh, it's got to be
Well,
so
they sell
depressing.
adult ones now.
If only these kids just they knew how good they used to be. It'd be so
If
depressing.
they sold
It'd
an
be a sad
adult,
meal.
I wonder what
I don't want an
like if
adult
you put
toy with my
real
meal.
gifts, no, like real gifts that real adults would like you'd have to pay $3 for a Happy Meal and give $50 with it. That would be a gift an adult really liked. Holy shit, $50.
Oh.
One of the big things I remember when I was little, and you'll know this because you had older brothers. We had an older cousin, and I remember one year for Christmas in our stockings, we all got our stockings out, and all of our stockings looked normal. They were just stuffed full of all sorts of stuff, except the oldest. He had wiper blades in his stocking, and I
Oh yeah.
remember he was happy,
Oh yeah.
and me and my cousins were just like, "What the hell? He got wiper blades? That's such garbage. Like, why would he be happy?" And
Listen,
I remember Brett explaining, "No, when you grow up, you'll actually like stuff like this."
listen. I'm only 25, and getting socks is the greatest thing ever for Christmas.
No,
Oh.
still don't want clothes for Christmas. That's
See,
not a gift.
I do, because I don't want to, like, all of my clothes I wear is, like, basically, like, cause that's all I really want for Christmas is just, like, my outfits for the next couple years. It's like, I don't want to ever I haven't bought my own clothes in who knows how long, because I just want clothes for Christmas, and then I just wear them until they are literally unwearable.
I was gonna say I haven't bought pants in like a million years. I can't.
I will say the pair of jeans I wear everywhere I did buy for my friend's wedding that I was in. So I bought those and the pair of boots I wear with them. I bought myself, but other than that, I like don't buy any of my own clothes.
I bought my own socks,
So I
and
just get
those
them for
have lasted
Christmas.
forever. I can't even remember the last time I bought underwear. I can't remember the last time I bought pants. And then my shirts were all gifted to me. And my favorite shirt actually wasn't. My favorite shirt I got. It was so awesome. I got it in Wall Drug, and it's got a holy Bible and a handgun, and it says two things every American should know how to use, neither of which is taught in school. And I just love that shirt. I love it so much. It is my favorite thing to wear around, and the decal stayed on it because a lot of those shirts that you get, I'm very scared. Like if I go to a tourist trap to buy shirts, because a lot of the shirts you wash them and the decal comes right off. But this shirt's really good. It's a really good shirt. I'm really glad I bought it, and I love wearing it because I've got a lot of compliments on it. I've got people that said that shirt's awesome, and then people who were liberal that said your shirt's very to the point. And I'm like, yep, it is. But I just love that shirt. It is my favorite shirt. My second close second shirt. It's not definitely not a close second in terms of like the decal and everything. This shirt did not wear well. You can barely read it. But you could, my second favorite shirt is chicken pot pie. Three of my favorite things.
Jeez.
I love that shirt so much.
So
It's
dumb.
so much fun to wear that shirt. And everyone has to do a double take.
Oh
The
my
shirt
gosh.
I've gotten the most compliments on though is just it's a like a rainbow. It's not tie-dye. It doesn't look like tie-dye. It's got a nice rainbow pattern on it, and then it's a kitten in the middle. I'm sure you've seen the t-shirt. It's actually really popular, and a lot of people have them. I've seen it around. But that I get the most compliments on. I'm always not surprised. I have that one, and then I have another one that is actually tie-dye, where it's a kitten throwing up a rainbow. It's like yelling into the sky, and there's a huge tie-dye rainbow, and I get a lot of compliments on that shirt. And that shirt's one of my favorites because there's a huge tie-dye thing going right across the middle, so any stain you get on it just looks like part of the tie-dye.
See, I get compliments on my shirts, but that's because the only shirts I wear are either like bland color shirts that like they're just just your regular just one-off shirts that are just whatever color, or I just wear Bengals stuff. So and those always get
There you go.
compliments. So I
I
have like
never get
one or two
complimented on my
shirts that
Chiefs sweatshirt.
I have like one or two shirts that aren't those things, and they are some of my favorite shirts just because they're comfortable. Like one's like a outdoor Bass World or something shirt, which it's some outdoor shirt that I really don't even care about like their stuff or whatnot. I've never bought any of their outdoor stuff, but it's just a comfortable shirt. And then the other one's a Ruger shirt that like I have some Ruger stuff, but also like I wouldn't have ever bought this shirt for myself, but it is a very comfortable shirt, so I wear it. I'm not one of
Have
those
you
people.
seen you haven't seen The Hangover, have you? That's a
No.
good movie. Yeah, I
No,
figured you hadn't. I'm wearing a Hangover shirt. It's actually still funny. You know the Caesar's Palace Hotel in Las Vegas, right?
yeah.
And my shirt says, "So did Caesar actually live here?"
Jeez.
And that's from the movie, but I just love this shirt so much. It's funny to wear around because it'd be funny if someone read my shirt. So does Caesar actually live here? What the fuck? If they didn't see the movie, they would just wonder what the hell that was. And if you knew about Caesar's Palace, you might think I got it there. But if you've seen the movie, you definitely know what it is because it's in the beginning scene.
Yeah.
And then I've got a yellow shirt that says, "But did you die?"
It's okay. Peeps Day suggests that all is well on Mount Rushless. No seismic activity whatsoever. Oh boy. Oh, that's right. In the first one, it was like the volcano was causing everything to be dirty. That's right. Maybe I'm getting more lore updates about that. Because yeah, that was like that was the reason for everything being so dirty in the first one was volcanic ash and whatnot.
You literally want to make me buy this game and watch the lore video just because I remember the lore was actually interesting.
That's some good lore. That's what made the game good, or makes the game good. So this must be a continuation of. I don't remember if I don't know if this is the same place or not or what, but yeah. But I remember the volcano being a big reason, and you could like see. Let me look around. Because you could see the volcano in the background of like every place that you power washed. And you
Yeah,
could
and it
also
got worse and
there's
worse.
also a specific cat that you could see everywhere too on all the levels, which I haven't been looking for him, but I did hear a meow when I first like loaded up the game originally, so I'm assuming you can see him somewhere here, but where's the volcano? I don't see it immediately. Oh, unless that's it over there? I don't know.
Well, it might just be a mountain right now because you're probably just starting the game.
But yeah, there's also a cat, and I forget what his role was in all the lore, but there's a cat you could see on like every level. And I remember one of the houses you watched, he was just chilling on the roof of the neighbor's house, and there's definitely like meowing when I first loaded up this game, so I'm assuming he's in this game too. But I don't remember what his role was in all of it. Hmm. I'm actually getting close to being done with this house. that go? Oh, back here. Okay. And boom, there we go. Oh, you're so dirty. Also need to look about buying upgraded things. I haven't looked at that at all yet. Van styling. Washer equipment. Okay. Can I buy surface? Oh, they have like new things. Okay. Okay. Prima Vista 2400. Can I buy this? Am I rich enough? Doesn't look like it. Oh wait, yeah. I am. Okay. Medium duty. Okay. Okay. Short extension. Okay, let's just do that. How do I equip?
Probably equip it.
Shut up. Like, so would I have equipped now? Or no?
That's so funny.
What?
This guy's, oh my goodness, I hope I need to look at the scoreboard and read this guy's name to you. This guy's name, okay, I've gotta stop. This guy's name, I've gotta read this to you. I bring up the scoreboard by doing this. How the fuck do I bring up the scoreboard? I thought, oh, can I not bring it? I don't think I can bring it up until the game is over. Damn it. I wanna tell you so bad what this guy's name is. It's so funny.
Oh, this power washer is so much better.
His name is really long, but it's French. It uses the very recognizable French things, and it's just hobo. But it's really long, and it's really funny. But I was sitting there and I was trying to pronounce his name, and then I was like, "Oh, I get it, it's hobo."
Beautiful. Oh, absolutely stunning work. Oh, we're killing it right now with this new upgraded thing. Okay, can I not jump up onto this? Okay, can I jump from this to this? Boom. Now we're cooking with butter. Oh, never mind, I fell. Oh, look at that range. Oh, magnifique. Why is there a weird little bug on this house? Like a plaque. I don't know if it does. You know, it looks like the, oh gosh, what's the one big fossil that's like worth millions of dollars if you find a full one? Which it might, when we were looking for fossils in our area one day, we'd do in our geology class in college, we went to a place that like had a whole crap ton of fossils in the rocks, and we'd like look through them. The geology teacher always said, he'd be like, now if you find a full, whatever this was, sort of the trilobite, that's what it was. If you find a full trilobite, then I will automatically give you a minor in geology. He said, I've offered this to every student. No one's ever found one. Because it's also like worth millions of dollars if you find like a full one. He's like, if you find one, you get an automatic minor in biology or in
You
geology.
know, you know how a lot of e-vehicles and stuff are being powered by hydrogen now? You probably don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, hydrogen is like that. That's the fuel they want to use the most. It's
Hmm.
going to be like the most energy efficient if they can use this fuel. And I always remember our middle school teacher. He told every single class, if you ever find a cheap way to make hydrogen, come back to me. And he was saying that like over almost. I mean, it's almost been 20 years. It hasn't been that long, but it's almost been 20 years now at this point. And that was a long time ago. And now hydrogen, if you could find a cheap way to make that, holy shit, would you is he right?
Man, good thing I don't have to worry about a water bill in this game.
A water pill?
A water bill.
I wouldn't take any water pills. I don't think you need those.
I mean, people do take water pills.
Why don't you drink?
Those are a thing that people take. Oh. Can I hit this from here? Absolutely not. Okay. Didn't think so. Did not think so.
Oh, right as I spawned in, there's an enemy tank over there.
Rip. Sucks to suck.
Oh, they're getting out of the tank. And I have an LMG. Oh, and my teammate's down. There we go. Teammate's up. And he's dead again. My teammate died as fast as I could revive him.
Yeah, it sounds like Battlefield.
Yep. Yep. I did res him too quick, though. I didn't give him a chance to even get his bearings. Oh my goodness. Man, my aim is so bad.
Oh. Wash away clean. Just so lovely. I will say, it's just, the game's so, like, vibrant and colorful that it just, like, makes it, like, 10 times more satisfying to clean. I forgot, like, this was a game that was even coming out, honestly. I forgot about it. I knew it was coming out, and I forgot. Happy I checked Game Pass. Wash this real well.
Yet another game without a single smoke assist. I threw my smokes everywhere. I just don't know how to get these stupid things. I do hear that it's easier to get in Breakthrough apparently in Rush.
Big time
Try
Rush.
playing those games.
I don't know what
Dude,
Big Time Rush
play
has to do with
Breakthrough more.
Battlefield, but
No, just Rush. That's where you got your big time from.
oh, my gun's jamming. What's happening here?
Traffic jam. In a Jeep trying to get to Echo. Hey.
Echo, Echo, Echo. There's your Echo. You're welcome. Come on, do the flash. Say it's clean. Come on. Oh, you're not gonna do it. Darn it. Oh, there it goes.
Well, I ran stupidly over to my teammate with my defibrillators out, like I could revive him, and I died. But I can take solace in knowing the guy who killed me had a shotgun. I was dead no matter what. I was dead to rights when that guy came out the door.
Rip. Mm. Okay, how's that not? Oh, this must be the whole outer edge is why that's not clean. Must count everything around the whole house. It'd be kind of surprising if it did, but it must. There's no way that other thing's not clean.
How is that not a smoke assist? I got a kill inside this. I just don't even know how to do these.
Have you tried being better?
I have. I got 5 of them when I was being better.
Tried being even better than your better. Have you tried being someone else's better?
I can't get my head that far up my ass.
I love the like sergeants yelling at people. It's just like, I tried my best. Oh, try the best of someone that's better. Oh. Oh, la-di-da-di-da. that's just perfect. Perfection. This window nice and clean. Apparently I've hit it before. Didn't realize.
The nearest medic is invalid turkey. Oh, he's
boy.
invalid.
Rip.
Yep.
When the president tries to pardon a goose, invalid turkey.
Invalid turkey.
Sorry, that was dumb. Oh, come on. Jump up. There we go.
Alright, I think I just got a smoke assist.
Wow. So proud of you and the work that you've accomplished.
Thank you. That's what I've been waiting to hear.
Wish he
Your
ever heard
approval.
from Sonia. The beam's gone because someone stole the merman's gems. What the frick are these texts even about?
You stole the hip hop jewels?
I don't even know what you're saying.
I knew you stole the hip hop jewels.
Oh yeah, that's satisfying. Oh yeah, you love to see it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, bud.
Did that guy headshot me? What? Yeah, he did. That guy's got me khaki. There's this way to get on this fucking roof of this building. I don't know how people do it. And it's always the enemy team, you know, it's never my team up on this fucking roof. They're like basically cheating. I don't think you're supposed to be able to get up there. I'm pretty sure that'll get fixed. It wouldn't surprise me a single bit if they're cheating though. I can't believe that guy's poked over the edge, moving like left and right as fast as a fucking rabbit, and he's able to just headshot me. He didn't even know I was fucking there. I did shoot up there, but like there's no way he could have seen where I was. They were shooting off the other side of the building, and then he just popped out and bam, it.
Rip.
And they're really close to spawn too. Eventually, somebody picks them off, but then they just get back up there. Cause I don't know if they do that.